Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome in to episode number 47 of Sunny Sit Down with Brandon and Heidi. And we know that this is on a Saturday and not a Friday, but thank you for bearing with us. We had some plans this weekend, so we're able to do tonight instead of last night, but we're excited nonetheless to hang out with all of you here live. So we'll hang out and welcome everyone in the chat. Of course, tonight's little topic is going to be ranking in a bracket the potential new lands that could come to Disney World based on movies and different things like that. We're going to throw all those movies into a bracket and chat it out and see what we all think could be based on our little poll vote here tonight. What should be the next land in Walt Disney World? If you're just watching this, be sure to like the video, consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, ring that bell so you never miss any new videos, and follow us on Instagram at sunnytimestwo for all of the updates from us all the time. And if you're watching this later, we appreciate it so much, and thank you for hanging out with us after we've gone live. But we'll welcome everyone in the chat here today. We're so excited, and then we'll get this thing going. Happy Travel Vlogs is here. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Wishes they were in Epcot. I wish I was at Disney World as well. You too?
Yep.
Feeling it right now? Me too. McKenna is here. Welcome, McKenna. Thanks for being here. T-Squiggle is here. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Austin is here. And Kaden is here. Thank you. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Knocking your hand. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Like I said, we are going to chat about all things Disney World and new Disney World lands. We're excited to chat about it and see what we think. I put some movies, of course, in a bracket, and we'll see what kind of comes out on top. I don't really have any idea like how this could go, because I feel like that it could come to points where some of the rounds get pretty like divisive. You know what I mean? Because it's your favorites maybe that you would love to see. But before we do that, we're going to do something that I've kind of been curious about, and we'll chat this through before we actually decide which movie should come next into the parks. We also wanted to see what park do we think it should come to. So with that being said, we need to do a little something. I got to just share my screen. There we go. We're going to do a little something first. We're going to rank that, and that being which park that we think needs an expansion next, which might be kind of hard to do. I'm not sure what we think, but I'm, of course, going to pull up this, and we're going to rank in order 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Walt Disney World parks, which park, number 1 being the one that needs a new land the most, all the way down to number 4 being the one that doesn't really need anything as much as the other 3. Which this might be hard to do. All of you in the chat, play along with us with your ranking 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I said, 1 being what park needs an expansion the most, and 4 being which one does not, out of the 4, need it the most. And I'll welcome in Alex is here as well. Thanks for being here. And Austin would like to inform us that Caitlin is here as well. Thank you so much, Austin and Caitlin, for hanging out with us. But I think that this is kind of tough. What do you think? Like, is there like an initial one that stands out, or it's pretty tough?
It's tough, but I feel like for me, there's an obvious answer
as number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to maybe go bottom to top or top to bottom? What do you think?
Why don't we go bottom to top?
Okay. I think for me, the one that doesn't need it the most is Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that one pretty well has like a good mix of attractions. I think has a good mix of lands, even if maybe there isn't as much there, maybe as like a Magic Kingdom, it feels more complete. And I know people might like disagree that it's kind of all over the place, but I think that maybe for me, that's the one that I wouldn't really necessarily need something there.
Yeah, I agree. That
Makes
was
sense?
The one that I feel like is the most stable.
Yeah.
It's like lots of different lands that are all very different, I feel, or like different areas. And I never go there and I'm like, what should I do? Like I always feel like I'm like, good.
I agree.
And we go there
quite
multiple times during trips. So
I think after that it gets tougher. I think that there's I think that there's a drop off. Corey and Brianna are in Magic Kingdom and they're still here. So nice. Thank you guys. Wow, so much. We've been living through your stories, like genuinely. I was just like, I'm watching. I'm like, I love this. I can't wait for the vlogs. And Corey says hello from Cosmic Rays. Love it. Well, yeah. What are you guys doing? Waiting for, or I guess Happily Ever After hasn't started yet. I guess not. Right? Crazy. Waiting it out. Hopefully soon. Kim is here. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And then we have some opinions. So we'll kind of talk it through. So Corey, we're voting for which of the parks in order 1, 2, 3, 4 do we think needs an expansion the most? Before we get into the movies that we want to see in the parks, number 1 being the park that you think needs an expansion, and number 4 is the one that like doesn't need it the most of those 4. So yeah, we're just kind of saying that we think Hollywood Studios would be 4th. Then what do you think, Heidi? What do you think is next? I think this is kind of hard.
Yeah, I think it's tougher. I think then what I think next is, for me, I would say Epcot.
I agree.
Because I feel like Guardians was such a heavy ad that I'm like, now I just go and same thing. I can just ride Guardians. And I feel like Guardians has made me want to go to Epcot, and then I actually want to walk around World Showcase. Whereas before I was like, I'm good.
That's kind of how I feel. That I think that World Showcase for us now has become more of a thing.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, I ride Guardians and then I walk around.
Yeah, I think that my number 2 and 3 are very close. My number 1 is as clear cut as Hollywood Studios was number 4. For me, Epcot and Magic Kingdom could be flip flopped 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then Animal Kingdom is a clear number 1.
That's what I was saying is like the obvious one, because I think especially now that they're like getting rid of Dino Land, it's kind of like, I feel like
it's probably inevitable that it's happening.
But I feel like Tron wasn't enough of an ad for me in Magic Kingdom. Like, I don't go there and go, oh, like, woohoo, let's go do Tron. Whereas I feel like
if they had one more land, I think it'd be perfect. And I think that it's like,
or even just like one more like really good attraction that I want to ride personally. Some people like maybe love Tron. I like the initial thing, too. But I don't know.
We're going to get into it, but I just wanted to ask this because this may come into your thought process of picking a movie, and let's say that you pick one, but you're like, but I don't know where that I would put it.
Oh, because you have
maybe like a little bit of thinking has to go into where it's like, okay, like I want this, but I don't know where I want it at Hollywood Studios because it's so full, and maybe like I don't see it fitting somewhere. But I just think that Magic Kingdom has a lot of like potential where lots of things would fit there.
Yeah.
So that's why that I could see maybe it over Epcot like a little bit. Like, but I think those two are very, very close.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Especially now, like Guardians is kind of just like placed in Epcot and was like, here you go.
Here's a gift.
Randomly, but like love it, but like kind of weird. So yeah, I feel like other parks, it's not as easy to just
so there we are. I'm going to bring us back here. But Kim is here. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Austin is saying Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. Happy travel vlogs. Kind of flipped a bit. So Animal Kingdom, Epcot, MK, and Hollywood Studios. Animal Kingdom needs a new land, and Epcot really needs a few new countries. There we go. That could come into play a little bit later. Llama Floof is here. Thanks for being here. Says Hollywood Studios needs more high-capacity attractions. Interesting. There we go. T Squiggle says, this is tough. I feel like Animal Kingdom is going to be popular number 1, but I like how chill it is. You like the vibes.
Yeah,
so maybe MK, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios. I do love that most people, just like McKenna, say that Hollywood Studios is the most kind of like solid one in terms of attractions. And a Villain's Land, maybe that'll come up, McKenna. Corey says Animal Kingdom, Epcot, MK, and Hollywood Studios in that order. Caden's kind of almost the same a little bit, except actually he's totally flipped reverse. Dak at the lowest and Epcot number 1. Brianna's closer to Corey, just a couple flipped. Kim kind of agrees a little bit with like everybody putting Animal Kingdom. Alex agrees, but wants it to be relaxing.
Yeah.
Llama Floof says that Tron is amazing. And then Llama Floof has a question that we'll maybe get into a little bit later, like a little bit sooner, I guess, is having a Villain's Land at Magic Kingdom or a Villain's 5th park. And we'll maybe get to that very shortly. So that was my first question before doing this. And my second question is, and this picture, when I like exported it from its original format to like the format here, like the quality is not great. But this is my last question before the movies is, with kind of like new Disney stuff, and I pulled this picture because it shows lots of things. Do you prefer things based on original ideas that are not movie or IP based, or IP based things? Everybody's on this topic of we don't want IP in the parks. We want new things like an Everest, for example, that's not based on a movie, but it's just like a new idea. Or Animal Kingdom is like a new idea and stuff, and like that kind of thing. Or do you like when they bring in stuff from like the movies, like a Pandora, like Guardians IP and Star Wars? Me too.
I like IP because it's like, isn't that the point?
And I do think that original ideas are great, but I think when you watch these movies and then you're able to go and experience those, I think that's like the coolest thing. And of course, like they can still do like great ideas with like original things, but I just think that like connecting with movies is like so special and so cool.
Like, So, but aren't like the non-IPs like kind of just like the original?
But I guess that stuff
things?
like a non-IP would be like, I guess like they created like a Figment and
Yeah,
stuff
but those
like
are all like
that.
old.
Yes. So I'm saying
So I
like
feel
as
like
of
would
now,
they
it's all
make?
IP based.
Yeah, I feel like it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's kind of just the chat because this whole discussion's all IP. This whole bracket is all movies. So if you're coming here for like new ideas, we don't have new ideas for you.
Imagine you should have just brainstormed all new
I could have.
ideas.
I just should have came up with what if they did this? What? Yeah, like at that point, then I should just go work at Disney Imagineering at this point.
Just send them the live stream.
But this has just been a topic that like I've listened to some podcasts and watched like some videos where this is always a hot topic about like IP versus non-IP. And I really do love IP. I think if they can have like new ideas, it's great. But I think I just really like being able to connect with the stories that I love.
When was the last non-IP thing that they added?
I don't know.
Someone tell me,
Good
please.
question.
I would love to know.
Would love to know as well. Austin says, give me all the IP. There you go. Brianna likes a mix. T Squiggle likes IP for sure. McKenna says not. If I'm paying that much money, I want to be immersed and feeling like I'm a part of the story. Llama Floof says an Orange Bird ride. Brianna says non-IP was Pirates and they added the Johnny Depp. Exactly. There you go. That kind of thing. Austin says retheme Soarin' to Orange Bird. And then Llama Floof agrees, because Austin should be hired. So these are just some things to keep into account. And we also wanted to say that this is our last live stream for March, being like our March magic that we did, like a live stream every week, except now because Easter is next weekend. But we've loved hanging out with you. So let's, for one more time in March, do another one of these after all this discussion. That was scary. Yeah. Bracket battle time. And this bracket, I think, is going to be pretty fun, and I'm excited where it can go. I've taken 42 movies or movie franchises, and I've put them into a bracket, and we are going to decide with all of your help which of these 42 movies or, franchises should be the next land at Disney World. You can pick it based on your favorite
attraction or land or whatever.
I'm thinking, I guess, a mix of both. I know that it's kind of a different discussion, but if you're going to do a land, there's going to have to be an attraction there.
Okay.
So you have to see this maybe more as a potential like attraction as well within a land. So if you're going to pick something, can it just
be an attraction? Because like I feel like Magic Kingdom, like how is it going to be a land in Magic?
Well, because they have space, as they said at the last expo and stuff or whatever. We got the space behind Big Thunder. We can do things. So I'm thinking that land makes more sense with this, because some of these I think are too grand scale for just an attraction, and I think we need a land.
I feel like some of them are not a land,
but maybe just a smaller area. I don't know. Heidi's like already throwing a wrench into this for me and making me have to justify myself.
I don't know, because I'm just looking at the comparison here.
Yeah.
I feel like one of them's very much could be not a land, and one of them could be.
But maybe you think that maybe this could fit within some existing. Maybe okay.
It's whatever.
Let's say that you want it to be a new land or it fits somewhere existing. Okay. Let's do that.
Better.
That's better.
Yeah.
Because like you said, this next one could fit in a country at Epcot potentially or somewhere else. Okay. Versus the other one is more of a land. Does that make sense with everyone? Hopefully. Thumbs up if we're ready to go. We're going to do this bracket. And like I said, you can vote based on your favorite, what you think is realistic. I did try to take into account, which I will say, things that maybe could be realistic based on like success and like stuff like that. Like newer movies that didn't do well, I didn't put here because they're not
you just
necessarily, you got to pick. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. So if you can envision something somewhere in the park and you want to pick it and say, I'm picking this because I think that this could fit here, that's great. Or you pick something and you go, this could be a whole new land, and we could do it that way.
Okay.
Whatever you guys think. But Caden says more original IPs. The Gingerbread Man for Jollywood was the first new character for the parks since Figment. There you go. Know that. Interesting. All right, we're gonna get going with our first one. As always, you all play along with us. Myself and Heidi will get a vote. Each of you will get a vote, and then we'll move one on again. 42 movies or franchises in a bracket, and you'll see what Heidi meant by her first one, because the first one, and this is all random as well, by the way. The first one is Turning Red versus Black Panther. Now, Heidi's whole thing was that maybe Turning Red wouldn't be as good of a land and more of an attraction versus Black Panther could be a whole land of building Wakanda. And this is easy for me. So easy.
Well, the thing is, I just feel like it's not going to happen. So,
but this is in your perfect world. What would you pick as the next land?
But
a mix of stuff.
Okay. It's hard to be practical.
Why don't you think that Black Panther could happen?
Because there's no other Marvel there already.
There's Guardians there.
I know, but I don't know why Guardians is there.
Because they have to bring Marvel in. They own Marvel. They got to bring in Marvel. People like Marvel.
I know, but I thought they're not allowed certain stuff.
Certain stuff, but I'm putting some stuff on here that's not allowed in like an ideal world.
I'm just gonna go with what I like.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You.
Black Panther, easy. Wakanda at Animal Kingdom would be unmatched. It would be so cool. And even if it was like you added it somewhere where you had to take like a train to Wakanda and you got there and there's like a ride through Wakanda, like after with like Black Panther and stuff and like a battle and you could see stuff there. I think it would be so cool to me. Whereas like a Turning Red, okay, there could be like an attraction at like an Epcot Canada, but I just think that the potential for something like immersive and incredible is a Black Panther to me.
Yeah, this is hard already.
Really?
Well, because I feel like Turning Red's more like practical. Like,
okay.
Because like I feel like it could actually happen where they would just make an attraction.
I think that they could build Wakanda. I think that. Do
you think
like,
they
easily.
would though?
I think that if they could,
it's
they would.
a lot of buildings to be in Animal Kingdom.
But it's
like a whole city, huge city in Animal Kingdom.
But what I'm saying is, if it's way in the back, it's like in the distance. There's Wakanda.
So not,
and
it's
it
like
fits
outside of Animal Kingdom.
I don't know. This is my perfect world. Heidi's trying to break down this whole idea into like.
Well, because like see what Caden's saying. That's what I feel like.
That's okay, but I'm saying I would rather them build Wakanda. Okay. Versus them easily integrate Turning Red into Canada. I would rather that there's a Wakanda that I can go to versus go to see May May in Toronto.
I feel like I'm going to vote for May May.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I just think that I see the potential in Animal Kingdom, but the more I think about it, like I don't think that it's Animal Kingdom-y.
That's okay.
So I'm going to vote for May May. See you in Canada, May May.
Wow.
See you, girl.
See, I look at this bracket where like I want to go to this place. That's how I look at it. Like I want to be immersed in this. Like on Guardians, I want to ride with the Guardians through space.
But, yeah, I guess. But I don't want a bunch of city stuff in Animal Kingdom.
That's fair. So we're split clearly over here.
Already on
Tacey is going Turning Red. T Squiggle is going Black Panther. So's Llama Floof. Tacey wants the 4 town.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Sorry.
1 for Turning Red and 2 for Black Panther.
Okay, got it.
McKenna says Black Panther would slay. Alex also votes Black Panther. Happy Travel Vlogs and Kim are voting for Turning Red. Alex votes for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Caden says Wakanda would be so cool, but think about how quick and easy you could integrate Turning Red into the Canada Pavilion. You could have a 4 town on the stage and maybe do a rider show.
So is that for?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Llama Floof says Caden has a good point. I agree. Llama Floof says would Black Panther even be the first Marvel IP they tackle? It could be, but there's another one on this list later that if in a perfect world we could do it, we're going to do it. Hopefully. Magical Castle votes Wakanda as well. And Caden says Wakanda doesn't fit the vibe of Animal Kingdom, which, yes, that's fair. But I just think that like you could spin it where I think that Wakanda is about like this natural resource and like protecting that resource. I think that there could be some cool stuff there with like education on that kind of stuff. That's my logistics. And this one was way closer than I thought it would be, to be quite honest. And
you thought it was going to be Wakanda?
I did, but clearly I'm wrong. Black Panther won by a couple, and it's moving on. Next up, we have Up versus Tarzan. So Up again versus Tarzan. Tough one.
Well, I don't know if it's tough.
No? Go ahead.
Well, I don't know, actually. I just feel like in this one, Tarzan's the obvious answer.
Yeah.
Because Up, they already do have a little bit of integration into what's it called? Animal Kingdom.
A little bit.
Which I can see obviously how it fits there.
Yeah.
Obviously. But like what kind of ride would they add at Animal Kingdom that
for Up, you mean? Yeah.
For Up.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Tarzan because I think that Tarzan fits seamlessly into Animal Kingdom. And I think would be really cool regardless. I think Up is kind of one of those where it doesn't necessarily really fit like that well. I know that maybe like people didn't agree that I said that Black Panther fits perfect, but I think that Tarzan really does fit perfect. Yeah. Up, I think, fits less like anywhere.
Yeah.
like, so it's in Animal Kingdom because they go to like the tropical place and go there.
In
but
a little wilderness
like,
explorer.
yeah, wilderness explorer vibe and all that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
There's like parts that make sense, but the actual like overall story isn't like around like.
Yeah. I think that Tarzan would be fun. I know that Tarzan's kind of like an underrated movie, and maybe this wouldn't happen because Tarzan's not like a new or hot thing. But I think that people who love Tarzan would love a Tarzan like area, you know?
True.
So I'm gonna go Tarzan. You also?
Yes.
All right, let's see what everyone else has to say. Magical Castle is voting for Tarzan. T Squiggle says, okay, Tarzan in Animal Kingdom would be so cool. Tacy's voting for Tarzan, so is Kim. And Happy Travel Vlogs. Caden agrees. See, like all of like the music and stuff, like a tree house, all those vibes. I love it. McKenna says that also Tarzan does fit, but I would love a cute adventure in Up. Agree. I would love Up as well. I love a lot of things. And I think that they have lots of potential, clearly, with a lot of IP that they could do. And Llama Floof says, I think that Hollywood studios should be divided into the companies they have, Marvel Land, Star Wars there, and Pixar. Interesting. I think there's potential for that as well. And Happy Travel Vlogs. Oh, sorry. They already voted for Tarzan. So Tarzan is moving on. And T Squiggle wanted to say that the Tarzan soundtrack. So yes.
Yeah, I love
would be so fun. Agree.
Really
Tarzan is moving on. Next up, The Lion King versus Robin Hood. And now this is where some of these things already have like a presence in the park, but maybe there's potential for more based on what they could do. And we'll get to some of those later. I think that Lion King is one of those where like it's at Animal Kingdom, but it's really just like a show and merch and character meet and greets. I think that this has potential for like a fun ride or something different as well. Because I think that Lion King is one of Disney's biggest brands, like, and stories from that time versus Robin Hood, which clearly we learned last time for Disney guys that people love Robin Hood.
True.
Which maybe this could fit. I don't know.
I feel like though, like Robin Hood, I feel like people who know Disney like Robin Hood, but like the average person
for the masses would be excited about
not like a Disney goer all of it. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like not like lots of people go to Disney, but like they don't go to Disney like for every trip and stuff like that. So I feel like that Robin Hood wouldn't be on those people's radars. Yeah. So I just think I feel like the obvious one is Lion King, but I don't know.
I think that this like to me seems like that we're in like a war room at Disney a Disney like where am I blanking? Yeah. Like Imagineering. And it's like, do we do this or this? And I think this is kind of conversations like that they have of like what could happen, you know? And I think for me, if I look at this, like from my perspective, I love Lion King, but I also think that Lion King could have like a really cool attraction that I think would like be really awesome. But that's just me. I know people love Robin Hood. There's really like nothing about it in the parks except for like a rare time that Robin Hood meets in Epcot when they're like doing some stuff there. But I think for me, it's got to be Lion King.
Yeah. I also like always, it's kind of interesting because it's like when you think about some of the like older rides, like the original rides, like obviously they're kind of like dark rides where you're just going through and kind of watching the story. But I feel like now as they add new rides, like there's always an expectation that they just get better and better and better. Yeah. That it's like, it's kind of hard because when you think of like certain rides, you're like, are they ever going to make a ride that's just like kind of basic? I feel like now if they put a ride that's just like average, people are going to be like, why would you waste money on that?
I think
how's that not going to draw people?
Like, I think what it would be is like a big attraction and a smaller one, which is what like they're doing overseas with like Peter Pan. There's like the big Peter Pan attraction and then like a smaller like a little Tinkerbell slower ride. So it's like a mix of two things. I think that for this, if you're thinking like a grand scale thing, Lion King is clearly it. Whereas if you're just thinking like a dark ride or like a smaller thing, I think that Robin Hood is a good thing. But I just think that Lion King is a better brand.
Yeah. What Magical Castle said there, that's like what that's what I was trying to.
It's tough.
Trying to say
it's
like
hard in this discussion. You know?
Yeah, it's hard.
Let's see where we're at. Olivia, welcome. Thanks for being here. Says Lion King. T Squiggle says, I love the Lion King so much, but it would be fun to have a ride to accompany that. I agree. Just like something different. Magical Castle also votes Lion King. Tacy says Robin Hood. We already have Kilimanjaro Safari, which is pretty much a live action Lion King. Very true. Llama Floof says Robin Hood deserves more representation in the parks. Any connections now? I think it's only, like I said, if there's like merch, and then if he meets out like somewhere, like any of the characters. Yeah, like I've seen him before randomly. I've seen like the Sheriff of Nottingham is in like the Halloween parade sometimes and stuff, but not really a big connection. McKenna would love Lion King stuff. Lion King 2, like a little boat, like love stream boat ride. I love that. Alex also says Lion King. Llama Floof says that Robin Hood would be a fun dark ride. Caden agrees that it's not talked about much, which is why that it's low risk, as whereas Lion King has high expectations to live up to. Happy Travel Vlogs votes Lion King. Kim votes Robin Hood. Tyler, welcome. Thanks for being here. Says Lion King. Llama Floof says Robin Hood Dark Ride from the perspective of Prince John. And Magical Castle, like you said, Heidi says that Robin Hood maybe isn't a draw because it's not promoted. And Tacey says you could make a Toy Story Mania Space Ranger spin type ride where you shoot arrows and steal coins. I love it. Look at us coming up with ideas.
This is so fun.
So fun. But in this hypothetical matchup, it's going to be the Lion King. And the next matchup is Lilo and Stitch versus Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh.
Interesting. So, of course, Stitch had a present. Had Stitch's Great Escape. You can meet Stitch.
I love that ride.
You loved that ride.
Yeah, bring it back.
Why did you love that ride?
Because it was cool.
Also, I was going to say, Stacy says that the Friar's Nook is named after Friar Tuck and Robin Hood. That's correct. And her vote was Lion King, though. And T Squiggle voted for Lion King, but a little interactive Robin Hood archery thing would be cool. See, we're coming up with ideas.
Stitch's, what was it called? Great Escape?
Yeah.
That was like one of the only things I remember from like my first trip
ever
was going on that.
Yeah. I think Stitch is one of those. We just rewatched Lilo and Stitch last night.
I can't say much.
No, because our podcast episode on Monday, we're starting a movie club every month. And the first movie was Lilo and Stitch. And I was like pleasantly surprised with it because I feel like that like a lot of people love it. And I know that people love it, but I kind of never understood like, okay, Stitch is like a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that I get it more now after watching it, why Stitch is like a big character for Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Wreck-It Ralph is one of those that like obviously has like 2 movies. I think like was pretty popular, not like the biggest thing. But I think that there are ways that it could fit pretty seamlessly with like I've said this before, like a test track or like a speedway, where like if they change that to like a Sugar Rush thing. But I think logistically in this, I think that Lilo and Stitch probably should have.
Where would you put it?
Representation. I don't know. I feel like somewhere, and they would have to just like figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. This one's kind of, I feel indifferent about because like they're not 2 of my favorite things. I just think if I look at these on the surface, of course, like a Sugar Rush ride would be like really, really cool. Like, or some kind of thing like that where like you're transported into like a video game would be cool. But I think Lilo and Stitch, like people love it so much, and I think they should find a way to bring it back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Agree, disagree?
Yeah, this one's hard because
this whole brag life is going to be pretty hard eventually.
And I'm really trying to think like what I would actually do with them. And I really, really like the idea of what's it called?
Sugar Rush?
Yeah, but then also I don't think that they would I don't know if they would actually change Test Track to Sugar Rush. Or like no, that would ever happen.
They should get rid of any Speedway fans. I'm so sorry, but they should remove that and do like the Mario Kart ride that's at Universal just better.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because that one's like a slow with screens. I'm thinking like Sugar Rush needs to be like, you know, that we're like racing along with Vanellope. But
I'll say Lilo and Stitch and say, well, I
think they like you could just like go to so many places. It could be in space. You could come down to Earth, like ride on a wave, and like whatever be like in the story of Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
I don't know
what I would do with it, but I feel like Stitch, like people really like Stitch.
People do love Stitch.
I'm gonna do that one.
This might be a sweep, I think. I'm not sure yet though. Tyler votes for Stitch, so does Tacey, and Caden says bring back Stitch's Great Escape so we can burp in our faces. Right, Heidi?
Is that what happened? I just remember at one point he runs and then you feel him run or something. Yeah.
Kim votes for Stitch. T Squiggle as well. Olivia says that both would be so great, but I think Lilo and Stitch might be better. Llama Floof says, is there any IP at the 2 water parks, or do they stick to their themes? Blizzard Beach recently brought in their like little kids area. There's like a frozen area, and you can meet Stitch at Typhoon Lagoon. So maybe there's potential for that there as well. McKenna says Lilo and Stitch would be so good because he's so popular. But I think that Wreck-It Ralph could be interesting. There's so much potential to do so many different things from this movie. So maybe that's a vote for Wreck-It Ralph. And Happy Travel Vlogs is voting for Lilo and Stitch. So is Alex. Caden says, I mean, for Wreck-It Ralph, you could put a Sugar Rush ride on Speedway or a test track. Exactly. There we go. And the cars at Disneyland would be a fun Sugar Rush theme since it's races against each other vehicles. I love it. I think that's a great idea. But Lilo and Stitch in this hypothetical matchup again is moving on. Next up, The Little Mermaid versus Brave. Now, The Little Mermaid has representation, but I think
has a ride.
Yes, but I think is
and
one
a
of
meet and greet.
Yes, but what I think is that it's a big brand that I think has potential of like overseas when they do like a Frozen, Tangled, those things. Like I could see them doing more Little Mermaid, like in that kind of area. Versus
I would just say just redo the ride.
That's fair. I wanted to put some of them on here that are in that category that have some stuff like a Lion King, Little Mermaid, but maybe have room for more. But that's going up against Brave that really just has a meet and greet.
I feel like the Little Mermaid has enough representation.
Okay.
Well, they have the meet and greet. They have the live action Ariel meet and greet.
She's in the parade, I guess. Lots of stuff going on.
At the other park.
Yeah, Hollywood Studios.
She's got a ride.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you need?
I don't know. Little Mermaid's a big thing. People love Little Mermaid.
Parade, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And I guess that Little Mermaid has a show coming back at Hollywood Studios.
This girl has everything.
I kind of forgot about some stuff there.
Okay, so just pretend this
versus Brave.
Just kidding. If you want to vote Little Mermaid, that's okay.
Because maybe people see, look, more Ariel, Little Mermaid revamp. People love Little Mermaid.
I would say redo what's existing, but
not add more.
No.
Gotcha.
Personally.
Versus Brave, which Brave I think has kind of become like a forgotten thing. I don't know with the kids if Brave is like a hot thing. Maybe is it with like the princess crowd? Do people talk about Merida and Brave?
Not sure.
Or maybe is it like you go there and meet her and then you love Brave? I don't know. Like I work at a daycare and the constants at the daycare is like Elsa is still huge. People love like a Jasmine and a Belle and Ariel. No Merida. I don't know.
This one I'm kind of indifferent about, to be honest, because I think that I wouldn't add more of the Little Mermaid. So I feel like I just have to pick Brave. But like, what would I do?
Yeah, I don't know.
A ride, I guess.
Another thing, like the shooting thing that Tacey said before.
Yeah.
With like Toy Story Mania era ride or something is I like that idea for something that fits with some movie.
I'm gonna vote for Brave, but I don't really want to be.
I'm also gonna vote for Brave because I don't like I'm indifferent. Like I'm not a big Little Mermaid person and I'm not a big Brave person. So I think in terms of those, if I would want something else, it'd be something newer to Brave, maybe something different and kind of like a different vibe. So I'm gonna pick Brave also. Let's see what everyone else has to say. T Squiggles says Little Mermaid revamp. Tyler says Brave. Happy Travel Vlog says more of Ariel. Magical Castle says more Brave. The Little Mermaid ride is a really low weight ride and takes a huge yes, it's a waste of space, a huge footprint. McKenna says, I think Little Mermaid. Brave is very much the Pixar princess. Tacey says Brave. Olivia is on the same page as you, Heidi, and agrees with you.
Thank you, Olivia.
Caden says, I think putting Brave in the parks would be really cool. Kim votes for Brave. Justine, welcome. Thanks for being here. Votes for Brave. Terry as well. Welcome. Votes for Brave. And Alex has a water ride for the Little Mermaid, potentially. There you go.
Yeah.
We should all submit all these ideas, right? Like Bob, Shirley, Bob. If you're watching, Bob, take this into account. This is like a good little sample size here.
Yeah, lots of opinions.
Little Mermaid moving on or Brave? What do we have?
It was Brave.
Brave. Moving on. Yeah, look, there's some potential for some Scottish snacks.
There you go.
I think this could be a good Epcot potential for Brave.
Okay, well, yeah, right? An Epcot sure, potential. That makes sense.
Next up, Hercules versus Pinocchio.
Ooh.
This is easy for me.
Hercules.
Put a Grease pavilion in Epcot and stick Hercules right in there.
Hercules would be cool.
Hercules would be really cool. And I think that Hercules is one of those things that I think, again, isn't really talked about and has like zero representation except for Hades in some things. Yeah. Like Hades is like in the parade with Pain and Panic. He's in Fantasmic. And that's like really it, to be honest. And like Pinocchio, same thing, doesn't have tons. Like he's like has like a restaurant, like isn't in the parade. But Hercules would be amazing.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be like when I picked all these out and stuff, I was like, this seems like an underrated like sleeper one that I think could be really good. And I think that it fits really well. Like Greece, plop it in.
Yeah.
And take Hercules, all the things, and plop it in. And I listened to like a podcast. I forget, it was one of the happiest podcasts, either that one or the newer one. And they were talking about like adding Greece into Epcot and doing like a Hercules, like a stage show where he like is kind of like training with what's his name, Phil and stuff. That could be potential. I think there's like some good stuff there. So Hercules is our vote, right, Heidi?
Yes.
Any love for Pinocchio? Any like thoughts, or there's enough there, like
You
a little
can
bit of
meet
stuff?
Gideon. You gonna do that?
Sometimes.
You're lucky.
Yeah. So
go to Disneyland.
That's true. He's at Disneyland. He has a whole ride over there.
I feel like he fits at Disneyland. I haven't actually been to Disneyland.
We haven't been yet.
It seems like it works.
Yes. We have another comment here that says, I think a Little Mermaid revamp is needed from T Squiggle, but if I were to add anything for that, I think the Finding Nemo submarine ride in Disneyland is cute and could be a cool theme for Little Mermaid. I'm afraid of this Finding Nemo submarine. I kind of like every day kind of like have a thought about it when I'm excited, and then I think about all of like the new rides and I go, oh yeah, but I have to go in this submarine, which I know isn't fully submerged or anything, but still kind of stresses me out a little bit. Tacey is emphatically going Hercules. So is T Squiggle and Justine and Magical Castle. I'm agreeing. Tyler and Olivia and McKenna all going with Huncules. Kim and Terry as well. Happy Travel Vlog says, Greece, we need some baklava. And how do we say this? Hero? Gyro. That's not the right way. What did you just say? Hero? It's like a gyro or something like that.
I thought you said hero. I said
no.
What?
Right? There's like a specific pronunciation, not gyro.
That's just
right. That's how it's
English
spelled.
Way of saying.
Yeah. Kane said, "Give me Greece at Epcot with Hercules." It is very discussion based, which is interesting because I think that it kind of oh, there we go. Euro. Got it. Makes sense to me. I like it. And what other countries could we add besides like Greece? Euro? Yeah. Or it's like or maybe it's like a silent G.
No, she just said it's like Euro.
Oh, I understand. Gyro. What other country could you add? Sorry, am I not saying it right?
Euro.
Oh yeah.
Euro.
Okay.
I think it's like Euro.
Oh boy. What other country would you add besides Greece? I just said the same thing. I don't know what I would add. I just I think
maybe it'll come up when we go on.
Yeah, maybe. I think that Greece is a really good option. I think is a really like with some IP that could be added there. I think that's like a really good potential. And I think maybe, which we'll get to Encanto obviously later. I know they're putting that potentially at Animal Kingdom. I think that could have also fit at Epcot.
I feel like
with like a Columbia pavilion.
Would have liked it better at Epcot, to be honest.
So let's see. But Hercules is moving on. I think though that maybe it jumped to me. Yeah, Stacey says, I'm gonna go Pinocchio. Someone needs to save the Italy pavilion. Interesting. There you go. Hercules moving on. Next up, Tangled versus The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting. This for me is so easy, but it's only because I really love one of these and I am okay on the other one.
I feel like The Nightmare Before Christmas would be a sick dark ride though. Like so cool. Like if they did like
because they do it at the Haunted Mansion over at Disneyland. Yeah. They like add that on, but I agree.
But imagine like the animatronics they could do. Cool. Like they would look so cool. But it goes up against Tangled, which just like add a Tangled ride, please. Like someone just do that.
Tangled needs to happen. Tangled is
and it's still like I feel like it's liked by
people. Love it still. People love Rapunzel. People love Flynn. The side characters are good. The whole like the vibe is good about it.
I feel like little kids still like Tangled. Like
I agree. I think that like NBC though has some good like potential. If they I think
this was just up against a hard one. Otherwise, I would have voted for NBC.
And I don't know though, like in terms of like a land, I think that Tangled's land could be really beautiful. I think that NBC could be cool, but I don't know if it'd be as big of a hit.
Extension of the villains thing.
Yeah, but I'm going Tangled. I want like this is also so seamless where it's like a boat you could do. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, something. Let's see where we're at. I think it's gonna be lots of Tangled, and we're starting off Tacey and Kim and Tyler all voting for Tangled. McKenna as well, Tangled. Llama Flu says Tangled. The bathrooms are just a waste of what we could have.
Just a taste.
Oh, a taste, not a waste. Maybe a taste and a waste. Not sure.
It's not a waste. Everyone likes it.
I know, I'm joking. Magical Castle votes for Tangled. T Squiggle says, I love Tangled so much. So that's hands down the winner for me. Caden says, sorry, we need more than a bathroom for Tangled. Alex is voting for NBC. Olivia votes for Tangled, 100%. Let's get more than a bathroom, please. Agree, everyone. The same thing about the bathroom. More than a restroom, even though it's the most. Yes, it is like so beautiful and awesome over there. Stacy votes for Tangled as well. Happy Travel Vlog says we need more of Jack. Terry votes for Tangled, and a Tangled boat ride, says Olivia. I would agree. And Llama Flu says, honestly, we need more bathrooms themed like the Tangled ones. Anyway, give us that level of detail for every restroom. Agree.
Whenever I think of the Tangled as a ride, I always just think of like Pirates, that shooting room, like where the things is. And I'm like, if they had that room, but just filled with lanterns,
it'd be so good.
Cool.
I would love it. So Tangled is moving on to the next round. Next up. All right. This is, again, the Avengers is what I did this one, this whole picture. We had Wakanda earlier, which is Black Panther, but this is just like Avengers versus Cinderella. Now, the weird thing about the Avengers, which I hope this doesn't go into people's thought process because we've been chatting this out, they can't use all of the Avengers in Florida because of some law agreement with Universal. That there's something where it's this thing where they can't use certain characters and they'd have to buy this agreement out. So on the West Coast, they can do the Avengers campus with all these characters because that doesn't apply there.
That's so interesting to me.
So my thought process for me, which I don't know how much money that it's going to cost them, I would pay it. And
you would pay it.
I would pay Universal and say, we're just going to, we're going to dissolve this.
Not you personally.
Not me personally. I would dissolve this thing. We're going to pay you the money for it.
But do you think Universal would even come up with a dollar price for them to buy it out?
I think so.
Or do you think they're just
because I think that the superhero area over there really kind of stinks, honestly. I've been there one time before.
But I feel like
there's a cool Spider-Man. I know, but they're
holding it out of pettiness because they know
I guess. And I think it's so crazy. Because
if I was them, I would hold it out.
Because I am such a big Marvel person that I love Guardians. I'm excited for Avengers Campus, and I hope that at Disneyland they do that multiversal Thanos ride.
That'd be so cool.
Because this to me has the peak potential for a Rise of the Resistance, a new one. Is Avengers something? There's got to be. And I haven't even talked about Cinderella yet, which this is her castle's at the this resort, but this kind of draw, maybe for her just isn't good. But yeah, the Avengers for me is the clear cut. If I could pick anything in terms of all of these, I'm just gonna say this now that this is my thing.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Obviously,
just as I was saying, I don't know. I wonder if that will ever actually happen because I feel you got to be thinking that the Universal people know that.
Of course they are.
Yeah, joke's on you. We're just keeping it.
And you're making,
you know what I mean?
Universal, make your new park and sell Disney the rights to use these Marvel characters.
I don't think they will.
And let's call it even.
I don't think they'll call it even.
Because if Disney had the rights to Marvel, they should drop a hammer and make some huge Marvel thing. Because I think that Avengers Campus to me seems underwhelming. Mm-hmm. And I think when I think of the actual potential, and I think that Haley brought this up on a live before, where the Avengers is harder than a Galaxy's Edge because there's no specific place where you could just make a new planet. But I think that you could just do some storyline that's not as connected to the movies, where it's these characters all come here, but it's a new place that then is a threat, maybe takes place there. Yeah. And it's your big ride is a battle at this place. Yeah,
it'd be interesting for sure. I'm still gonna pick Avengers. I think
peak potential is the Avengers.
Yeah, peak potential.
Sorry, Cindy.
But I love Cindy, and I feel like Cinderella. I'm surprised that she doesn't have, I guess, because the castle and everything.
Yeah, she has the castle, a restaurant.
I guess she has a lot of other stuff, but
the
I'm
boutique
surprised.
Is back there. You can meet her.
It just seems like she should have a dark ride, an original dark ride.
Something that
so, if
when the park opened, you mean.
Yeah, if I imagine a ride, I imagine an original ride, which now I think they would never do. So, but I would love a Cinderella ride, but obviously I'm gonna vote for Avengers because that's just next level.
I think Avengers would be peak.
Asking what's
wrong? I just think to me, which like I've obviously not been
We've
there.
not been.
So anybody who's in the chat who has maybe can say this like obviously better because they've been there. I just think that when I look at like Marvel, I think it's on the same level as like a Star Wars where they gave Galaxy's Edge and it's like this big, grand, large thing with like a main ride that's like Rise. And then you at Avengers Campus out there said, we're just going to take our like our Mission Breakout ride, and that'll be part of Avengers Campus. And we'll bring you like a Spider-Man ride that's just kind of like a maybe slightly better Toy Story Mania. And there's no big heavy hitting like I can experience like the Avengers and being a part of this story, which the original plans were to have like a Flight of Passage style Wakanda battle ride.
That'd be awesome.
And I think that got scrapped, and now is this like Thanos like multiversal thing, which was talked about at the last expo 2 years ago, and there's been no chatter about it since. Really,
maybe they'll say we're bringing it.
Imagine they said it's open tomorrow. I'd cry.
Oh my goodness. Imagine.
No, it wouldn't happen. But I just think that that's kind of from like an outsider person at Avengers Campus. That's how I see it, like as a big Marvel person, that I don't think it's enough. And I think it needs one big thing.
I want to try that food though.
I do want to try the food, and I'm going to love it. Like I'm going to love meeting characters. I love meeting characters, but I just love Marvel so much. I think there's so much like potential there.
Yes.
All right, that's our rant.
That was a long rant.
So sorry, everyone. But T Squiggle is a huge Marvel geek, so the Avengers for sure in a perfect world. I agree. I love it. I would do anything for Avengers, says McKenna. Me too. Let's all just pool our money.
Buy the Universal.
Buy the rights from Universal. Justine agrees. So does
money.
Tyler. T Squiggle says, however, the Hulk is my favorite coaster at Universal, so don't want that to go away. I've been on that actually one time, and it is very good. I agree. But I would sacrifice a whole Avengers land at a park at Disney World, in my opinion. Alex also votes the Avengers. Happy travel vlogs, and Terry agree. Caden says, as long as they bring the Spider-Man ride with them from Universal, give me the Avengers. Magical Castle says Avengers. So does Kim. Tacey votes for Cinderella. Stacy votes the Avengers and Magical Castle, who are experts, I would say, at Avengers Campus, in my opinion. Say that the vibes are so cool, and I cannot wait to experience them.
Yeah,
hopefully, if only they kept Rogers the musical, then I would like it more from hearing from you guys. But it's not. Avengers.
Maybe they'll say it at the D23.
Imagine, which is not a part
tomorrow.
Rogers the musical. I'd be hyped. Seriously. Avengers. Moving on. Next up.
Wait, hold on. For D23, didn't that happen in the like meeting a character?
They said you can meet the Hulk tomorrow. And
yeah.
It was like the big Hulk came out. And then they said if you want to meet Figment at Disney World, November next year.
I hope they do something like that.
I agree. Maybe they will. So next up is Ahsoka. I wanted to include some Star Wars stuff on here, and maybe not like a new land, but like a section or an attraction at the existing Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So Ahsoka is going to have some scenes in Star Tours. I think it's also coming in April. I think. Versus the Muppets, which also have an area. They have Muppet Vision 3D, but I know from Muppet fans,
people love the Muppets.
It's not enough.
Look at it in the comments.
Yeah.
Everyone's really excited.
I'm not like a big Muppets person, and I don't know like Ahsoka that well, but I think in terms of this, I would pick the Muppets because I think that I wouldn't be mad with like something cooler than Muppet Vision 3D for the Muppets.
Would you still keep Muppet?
I guess I would just add I would add something. People love the Muppets. Like I know for us, when I worked at theater animation, like they used to also have that store back there that was like stuff from the Muppets, and it's closed because there's no Muppet merch really. Like there's not enough to keep that store full.
Oh really?
So that's why that it's closed, and they use it for like May the 4th because it's I don't know. Yeah.
Seems weird.
It's interesting. So I would pick the Muppets only because I think that it seems like something that people really want. And I also think even if you're not like a big Muppets person, I think that it is a good thing for like maybe kids and stuff. It's a little bit like for everybody. You know what I mean?
And I feel like it's
cutesy,
Disney.
Funny. Yeah. Very classic to me.
Yeah. This one's tough for me because like Ahsoka, I imagine for Star Wars, people would be like super cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure Caitlin and Austin would like love
more Ahsoka. Yeah.
And I'm sure there's lots of other people too. But since I don't really connect with Star Wars because I haven't watched them really.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I should watch them and see if I connect with them. I guess I'll choose the Muppets. But this one for me, I feel like I personally am indifferent about this one.
That's fair.
So I'll just go with the Muppets.
Nice. I love it. Where are we at here? Brianna says that they're back after Happily Ever After. How was it? Probably exceptional. Probably great. Probably shed a tear. And probably maybe you're going to go ride something else or just have some good vibes. But thanks for coming back. We appreciate you guys. Lava Floof says the Muppets, great movie ride. Very interesting. Caden Muppets. Kim and Terry as well, the Muppets. Lots of Muppets. Kay, welcome, says the Muppets. McKenna says the Muppets. They are so silly. Stacy says the Muppets. We need more than a 3D show and Pizza Rizzo. Tacey with like an emphatic, like the most, like literally billions of percent here or something. The Muppets make it a full land, bring back stage 1 company store. See? And a full ride where I got shot out of a cannon with Gonzo.
That was weird.
What happened?
I don't know. I thought I like
your volume went on. Maybe
I thought I heard back.
Tyler says only because we have Galaxy's Edge, I'll go Muppets. T Squiggle says I can't vote on this one. I'm sorry, I'm not a Muppet person at all, but I don't think we really need more Star Wars either. That's fair. Tacey says I'm still hoping they retheme Rock and Roller Coaster to Muppets Mayhem. That was a rumor going around. Brianna says that it was incredible, and she in fact did cry. And Brianna says the Muppets, and this is true. The Christmas store didn't reopen either. That's true. And apparently there's potential that the Christmas store is coming back. I don't know if that's like secret knowledge.
Which one's the Christmas store?
Was where like is over like in that area, like I'm pretty sure. And apparently there was chats of it reopening, was what I heard in my time there. Could be wrong.
Year round.
Yeah. Happy
like
Travel Vlogs says the Muppets, like at Magic Kingdom, where they have that store.
Nice.
The Muppets pretty easily.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Nice.
Next up, Frozen versus The Mandalorian. Now I know Frozen has Frozen Ever After, but we've seen the potential overseas of what Frozen can be. And for me, this is an easy Frozen. Easily.
Yeah, for me, this is easy too.
And I know that people love The Mandalorian and love Star Wars, and I think that it could fit, obviously, Galaxy's Edge or somewhere else for the whole ride. But like to see what they've done with Frozen over in Hong Kong and what they're now going to do, I guess it's in Tokyo Disney Sea, is insane and would be so cool anywhere. Like stick it in Magic Kingdom and have it as a castle back somewhere else behind in the back. Seriously? Stick it at Epcot and I don't know. Just put it somewhere.
Just put it in the middle of the water.
Yeah.
Just ice the whole.
I don't know where that this would fit best.
Ice the whole bay and put.
Yeah. I'm gonna say though this would have to be Magic Kingdom though to me.
It feels like
it can't go anywhere else. I think
it already is in Epcot though, but
but it's like it's like a frozen kingdom in the distance. Elsa froze it and it's back there.
Oh yeah,
they gotta do this, and I think what's kind of hard about this,
people love Frozen.
People still love Frozen. Kids love Frozen. It's huge. Frozen 3 is coming out.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that we need more Frozen, and I don't know. I don't know how far this can go. I know some people get down on Frozen, but I think in terms of this discussion of in the parks, I think
like
this
people
fits so well.
Getting over the down on
Maybe
Frozen.
people are getting over the down on Frozen.
I hope you are.
Yeah, thumbs up or down on Frozen, but we like Frozen. You love it so much. I think that there's lots of good potential. Obviously, like Mandalorian does have some representation. Like he walks around sometimes. People love Baby Yoda, and he's going to be in Star Tours. So for me, Frozen. Let's see what everyone else has to say. We're kicking it off with a Frozen. Oh my God. Agree. Alexis, welcome. Thanks for being here. Votes for Frozen. Stacy, obviously Frozen. Llama Floof is so jealous of the Frozen land. I agree.
Yeah, me too.
It's so cool. Brianna says we need Frozen here with Bruni as a main star. He can just kind of have his little tongue out catching snowflakes or something. It's so cute. Kay votes for Frozen. T Squiggle as well. Incorporate more Frozen for sure. Happy Travel Vlogs. And McKenna and Magical Castle and Tyler all voting for Frozen. Caden says more Frozen, even though we already have a show and a ride. Olivia also votes for more Frozen.
We do have a lot.
We do have a lot. Alex and Terry vote for Frozen. Alexis says, unless I have actual Pedro Pascal, then I want Frozen or nothing. And this was a clean sweep.
Wow.
For Frozen.
Nice. Which
I kind of knew in this matchup after seeing when they all kind of populated that this maybe would be, but
it's okay.
We'll see. Fair is fair. Frozen. Moving on. Next up, we're on round
Okay,
2 of
nice.
this side of the bracket, and this is probably 2 Animal Kingdom-y things, which maybe one people don't agree with.
Yeah, me.
Black Panther versus Tarzan. I know where you're gonna go, and I know where I'm gonna go.
Black Panther.
Yeah, give me Marvel everything. Like seriously, I look at Marvel and I think that there are like I want to be immersed. I want to go to Wakanda. I want to go like Summer with like the adventures. I know that Tarzan's cool. People love Tarzan, but for me,
it's kind of interesting.
I'll leave my thought at Black Panther because I don't think it's gonna win.
I just find it so interesting because like I would love to know like what they would do at Disney World if they could do Marvel stuff.
But I think that they can do Black Panther. I think that he's one of the characters where they can.
But I'm saying like imagine they could do because like Star Wars is so huge.
If they could do like an Avengers Galaxy's Edge type thing with like a rise like level ride, it would be insane for Marvel.
But even like more than that, like I'm talking about like Marvel is like huge.
It's huge.
So like think about Star Wars. It's huge and it has Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Like I get that they have it at Disneyland, but I'm talking about at Disney World.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Interesting.
It's just
so
shocking.
Which way you going?
I'm going Tarzan. Because I don't think that Black Panther, as I said earlier, with all the buildings, I don't think I would like it in Animal Kingdom. Like I like it theoretically, but I wouldn't want all the buildings.
But I have the thought process behind it, and you can't really do this. In the movies, they fly that ship, and you can see nothing there, and they pass through like a barrier, and then they're in Wakanda. There's your loophole around it.
Yeah, but how are you doing that?
I don't know.
And also,
Imagineering
it's still at Animal.
But you don't know it's there.
I do. I look at it and I think. That is Animal Kingdom.
The animals don't know it's there. We won't know it's there. We have to go on some little train like the Hogwarts Express.
Well, then they better be shipping us miles away from the actual Animal Kingdom land.
No. Come on now. Alrighty, let's see.
Tarzan can have education.
So can Black Panther. Vibranium, misuse of things.
Same thing as Tarzan.
I understand. I know. I'm not.
And taking animals home.
I would love Tarzan. But I just like Black Panther better.
Okay.
And I want to go to Wakanda so bad.
And
the only way that I can go to Wakanda is if Disney builds a land. Otherwise, I can't go. It's not going to happen.
All right.
Kim votes for Tarzan. McKenna votes for Black Panther. Stacy, Kay, and Caden all vote for Tarzan. And so does Olivia. Alexis says, what I would do to hang out in Shuri's lab. I agree. Alexis says Wakanda. Terry says this one's hard. Sorry, Alex. Yes, Alex and Alexis. I'm so sorry. The same names there, almost. Terry said, so hard for me to decide, but I have to go Tarzan. T Squiggle says, love these both, so it isn't fair, but gotta go Tarzan. And then Tyler and Happy Travel Vlogs also vote for Tarzan. Wow. I kind of thought that Black Panther would do a bit better, but I guess it made it to the second round, and it went down to something that people is underrated. And
and clearly would fit in Animal Kingdom.
I think it would. That Black Panther would as well.
Okay, I'm glad you do.
But Tarzan's moving on. Next up, The Lion King versus Lilo and Stitch.
This is interesting. I feel like these are kind of like. Well, no, they're not really equal. Like I was gonna say, like Stitch is like big in the parks.
Yeah.
Lion King has some other stuff in the parks.
They're both big.
Both popular
brand.
Disney.
Yeah. I would say that Lion King's a bigger brand because the movie's bigger, but Stitch is a big character.
Yeah.
Specifically, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I just think if I look at this, what I would rather do, and I think again has it like, and I said this before with Stitch though, where they can put it anywhere and just like put it in there. But Lion King, if they just like expanded a bit of Africa where like the show is and put a ride.
But what kind of a ride would you want?
Anything, like a dark ride.
Just like a slow ride?
Anything, something. Like,
I just feel like kind of someone said it earlier. It's like you have Kilimanjaro Safari. It's like you have so much Lion King that like I can't imagine a ride that's like gonna add something.
But I don't get to go and hang out with like these characters and be a part of the story. Like I know that you do with like the show, but it's not like the same level to me of like immersion and like being in that world is how I look at this. Like with these things, and I just think of these worlds where that I would rather go. I'd rather go into the world of the Lion King versus Lilo and Stitch.
I just want to like the song from Lilo and Stitch.
The songs are good. The vibe's good. You love Hawaii.
I'd be like going through the ride like this.
Lilo and Stitch for you?
Yeah, I'm going to pick Lilo and Stitch.
All right.
Only because I feel like Lion King is very present, even though I don't ride.
I feel like I'm like the llama floof of today.
Yeah, you're getting
right. All of my things are kind of getting axed, or like
axed.
I'm on the opposite side of everything. Stacy right away kicking us off Lion King, and Happy Travel Vlogs agrees Lion King.
There's lots of Lion King right there for you.
There we go. And then it's a wave, no pun intended, of Tacey and Alex and Tyler and Alexis all voting for Lilo and Stitch. Hello, I want a specialty peanut butter sandwich. Cheese Squiggle here breaking it down. Okay, so while it would be so fun to have more Lion King, I think that the show is perfect and makes me cry every time. I agree. I love it so much. So their vote is for Lilo and Stitch. Makes sense. Caden and Kay and Justine all voting for Lilo and Stitch. So is Terry and Kim, and McKenna votes for Lion King. And Alexa says it's like going to Alani minus the expenses. There you go. See? We can just travel without having to go to Alani. I want to go there so bad.
Same.
Still. This wasn't close.
No.
I'm kind of stunned, but I guess because it has, but I think because it has already some representation in the park and people love Stitch. I'm not sad.
No,
it makes sense to me.
It's just funny.
It makes sense. Next up, if my Avengers gets beat, I'm going to be very sad though. Brave versus Hercules. Now, Brave took down the Little Mermaid that
that already has way too much at the park. My goodness.
Hercules is the answer for me as well.
Yeah, same.
I think it'd be great.
Herc would be a great addition.
I love the idea of like a stage show, kind of like him training and like going through that kind of stuff.
That'd be cool.
And I do love just like a dark ride or something, or like some kind of ride. I don't know, flying with Pegasus. A lot of things. I think there's some cool stuff there. So Hercules, and I think that the chat's probably going to agree. I think that Brave kind of maybe
sneaked it in.
Snuck out with a Little Mermaid win, because Little Mermaid, not in my head, had not that many things. I knew that it had some, but I thought maybe it was a brand that people would want more of, No. But clearly it wasn't, because Brave won. And now, do we have another sweep? We've had a couple sweeps already today.
Crazy.
T Squiggle says Hercules. Is this even a question? It is, but I don't think it was a great question. McKenna votes for Hercules. Caden as well. Hercules. Olivia and Justine and Kim all vote for Hercules. Magical Castle and Tacey and Kay and Tyler and Happy Travel Vlogs all vote in Hercules. I think this, again, in terms of like a fit, is one of the most seamless ones on our list.
Yeah,
I think they could easily, like I said, put a Grease and put a Hercules, and you're good with this brand in the parks. And Stacy and Llama Floof agree.
Nice.
Clean sweep for Mr. Hercules, and he's going on to the next round. Next up, Tangled versus the Avengers.
Oh my!
Now, I would love Tangled in the park, and I think it does deserve representation in the park, but Avengers is Avengers to me. This one's hard though, I think. And I think this is gonna make me so sad. This is gonna make me so sad. This is brutal.
I feel like it's happening.
This is horrible.
It's happening in the chat.
This is horrendous to me that I'm so sad. Oh no.
You just said that.
Because again, like I don't know what it is.
Some people are brokenhearted in the chat.
I don't know.
T-Squiggle and Alexis.
I don't know what it is about this for me. I think when I think of what should be a land or like more park stuff, I think that it just like I want to be like immersed, and I feel like I would feel more immersed with Avengers than Tangled.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if they could do it, like imagine
the
Star Wars level of Avengers, like that would be wild.
Yeah,
crazy.
Maybe it's just because people are going. Not in a perfect world, or people just don't love Marvel. I don't know. Maybe I just think because I love Marvel and it's so popular with like box office. But I think that what happens here is that Tangled is underrepresented. So then people have wanted Tangled for a while and go, okay, we just need Tangled, which I respect, but it easily beaten out Avengers here so far. Like in my chat glance here is wild. Which one are you picking?
I don't know, because like in my head, I'm
but
thinking
you're thinking
more realistic.
practically?
Yeah,
see,
to be honest.
Not
because
me.
like I'm thinking more realistic. So I don't know. Because like if all they did was do Avengers Campus in Disney World, like
it'd still be great.
Yeah, but it's not like I'd be like, okay, whatever. Like,
but if they did Avengers Campus with the Thanos ride and they did this new amazing which I don't know why that they scrapped the Flight of Passage like Wakanda battle. That is
Wow.
genius to me. If you can hop on like a bike seat and put on some glasses and like be moving around through like a
And I would love
battlefield.
that too. Oh, this is so hard. But then I just think, imagine like you're in like the pirates ride in the dark room and there's the lanterns. Like you'd probably be crying.
I probably would. And I think the
And it'd be
Magical
like,
Castle has a good comment here,
"Yes," and
which
you'd be
I'll
like,
pull up
"Oh."
after. But my thing is that I
don't know.
want to be able to more easily experience Avengers because Disney World is closer.
But then I don't know because like,
do you want me to pull up the chat and then we can get to you? How about
I
that?
just won't vote.
No, we can have you vote after.
But if it's a big,
well, I already think it's a big difference.
Okay,
Caden and Tacey are voting for Tangled.
What
like
did
you said,
vote for? Avengers,
easily
obviously.
Avengers. For me,
1, 2. Okay.
T Squiggle says, "How could you do this? I'm so sorry. We're all heartbroken. Apparently, this round." Kim votes for Tangled. So does Olivia and Kay. And then Alex is coming through with an Avengers vote. Alexis, my two worlds collide. Stacy says this one's hard, but my heart wants Tangled. T Squiggle says have to go Avengers because it's my ultimate, but I'm so sad to vote against Tangled. McKenna says Tangled practically, but Avengers in my heart, but Tangled for real. Tyler says Avengers. Olivia says that Disneyland already has Avengers, so we need a Tangled. And I'll kind of bring that up quick here because Magical Castle also said that maybe having Tangled at Disney World makes it more special because it's only there.
True.
Like, and then overseas, obviously, like you said, like the US, kind of like that they have, like the Avengers in Radiator Springs. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Llama Floof says Tangled. Happy travel vlogs as well. Brianna, welcome. Thanks for being here. Is running quick from schoolwork, but Tangled all the way. Although Avengers Campus is so good. Yes, you were recently there, and I need to hear all of the details and all of the tips, please. And thank you. Dreaming of Tomorrowland, welcome, says Avengers all the way. Magic of Michigan, welcome, says Tangled. Avengers already in California. T Squiggle says, I want to fly like Iron Man. Me too. Why? Terry says, why can't Rapunzel join the Avengers? Make this way easier. If not, I say Avengers assemble. Yes, Terry. Let's go. We can all say it together if they build the land. Magic of Michigan says, plus they've ruined Marvel lately. Tangled is still perfectly unblemished. Tyler would like a land like Asgard for Marvel. Yes, I was maybe going to put Thor in here, but then I thought that maybe it just fits better with Avengers. And Black Panther was kind of more separate. If we all have the same thing, why travel to the others? That's fair. Agreed. Brianna says also, I feel like Tangled could blend easily into Magic Kingdom, but Avengers Campus would have to be distinct area, which we already have so many of. There we go. And this to me is not a surprise when we look at it, but wow, bye-bye Avengers. Clearly we don't want an Avengers area, or we just want to Tangle one more. So Tangled is moving on. Next up, the Muppets versus Frozen.
Which is interesting because they're both ones that already have
both already have something.
I'm picking Frozen.
Me too.
Like Frozen.
Me too. This might be a stunner here too.
Yeah, I think it might be. which is wild.
Wow. I just think to see what they've done with Frozen overseas, like, my goodness, please put it up.
Put Elsa's Ice Castle up.
Just build it, Elsa. Also, 26 friends here joining us. Thanks for being here. Be sure to like the stream, participate in the chat, help us pick what Bob should build, or I guess Josh tomorrow should build at Disney World. Everybody, the whole Disney Imagineering, Disney Parks crew. I think that this is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be in the chat. It might be tight. I just think that Frozen again is a place where I'm like, I want to go to this place, and I want to meet the characters. I want to see the vibe, and I guess I don't connect with the Muppets. I know that people do, and I respect that because everybody has their little like fun fandom things. But Frozen is one that I just think that we would have such a good time. Agree.
I was just thinking really hard. You know what I was thinking about?
You're like, okay, this is what Heidi was doing. Heidi was looking this way and looking through the computer screen and through the wall in like one of those dazed things, right?
I was thinking this is what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
I sat there thinking, what if they had a ride inside, obviously.
Okay, wait, stop. This is your pitch. Say it.
What if you had a ride and it snowed, real snow on it? In Frozen, what? In Florida, what? That's crazy. Some people have never seen snow in their life. and you're going and it's snowing on you.
I'm
A
crying.
blizzard. And Elsa, it's all Elsa.
That is so funny. The end.
And it's icy on the ground. And you're sliding around.
Clearly we're Frozen all the way.
That'd be
and
cool.
We'll see what the chat has to say. Caden is the Muppets. Olivia and Alex and Magical Castle.
Whoa. 2 votes for Frozen.
1 Muppet and then 3 more Frozen from Alex and Magical Castle and Olivia. T Squiggle says Frozen all the way. Bye-bye, Muppets. There you go. Stacy and Alexis are voting for Frozen. Tacy and Kim are voting for the Muppets. Alexis is going to beg for some Frozen. Yes, agree. Muppets all the way for Kay. Brianna votes for Frozen. McKenna says, I think that Muppets for the potential, but Frozen wins for sure. We can do better. I agree. Llama Floof and Terry vote for the Muppets. Having a place is what makes the land. I agree. Magical Castle. Give us a Frozen land. Hannah, welcome. Thanks for being here. Says 100% Frozen. I agree with you, Hannah. Happy Travel Vlogs is voting for Frozen. T Squiggle says, I love that people find it fun and cute, but I'm sorry. I've just always been creeped out by I think that's probably so real for that, for most, like, because again, it's kind of like the charm of like the country bears people love, but then when you post stuff on the internet, people go, these things are horrifying.
Yeah.
And maybe people feel that way about the Muppets. Tyler says Frozen, and Alexis says, Heidi, that was so real, the staring through the wall. Yeah. Magic Michigan say, yikes. I was going to say Frozen until the Muppets hate. Come on now. Well, I'm not hating on the Muppets. I just don't connect with it as much. Maybe got to rewatch the Muppet stuff, but I really love Frozen. But I respect the Muppets because, yeah, people love them. Every time that I would work, people would ask about like merch for the Muppets. And I know that when last year Food and Wine started and there was like the brewing lab with like the Muppets.
Yeah. That was some good juice there.
Yes, but people wanted merch.
And some very salty fries.
But that wasn't from there. That was the pickle shake they had there.
The fries were from there.
No, they were outside at like the fry basket. The brewing lab had the wings. And got it for me? Yeah, they had. I just sat there. They had wings that that tea that you had, and
I thought you got it from
pickle
the
shake,
place,
but frozen.
I mean, from the. I don't know what I'm saying.
Next up, Tarzan in round. This is round 3 of this side. Tarzan versus Lilo and Stitch.
This is interesting because for either one, I don't have a ride envisioned yet.
Yeah.
I just don't know, but I feel like Tarzan in my heart I would choose, but I feel like if Disney was to choose, they would pick Lilo and Stitch.
Agree.
Because of Stitch.
Yeah.
So should I vote for that?
I think Tarzan fits more seamlessly. I think Lilo and Stitch is more logical. So then I feel like you can just kind of pick based on that, or maybe what you. Music. I think that they both have really good like potential. And I think you can vote on your personal preference or what you think logically is what you're thinking. You're voting for? Voting on logic. I'm going to vote for
a mix of both.
Mix of both. I'm going to vote for Tarzan.
Okay.
Because I think, again, I like voted for the other 2 things on both of these movies, like previous matchups, and they both lost. And I think of this, if I could be immersed somewhere, I think like a Tarzan ride could be cool. I think that Stitch maybe would happen, like I think way more likely, but I'm going to vote Tarzan.
Trying to think of what the ride would be.
I also want to pull this up because I'm laughing, but it's T Squiggle. Their comment made me laugh so much. And they said, hey, I don't think it's a bad production. I'm just freaked by it. Which made me really laugh.
I don't know. I just recently I'm just thinking of that Lilo and Stitch song, and I feel like it'd be nice.
Hey, then go for it. Vote for Lilo and Stitch.
And I just want to like go surfing. Like
that's fair. Maybe there's some potential there for some things like that.
Surf thing.
There you go. Caden also loves the PB&J wings that were at the brewing lab. Those were good. You wouldn't like those though.
Did you have that?
Yeah, yes, they're delicious. The garlic parm ones were good.
I'll vote for Lilo and Stitch.
Got it. Caden and Stacy are voting for Tarzan. McKenna and Alex are voting for Lilo and Stitch. Magic Michigan and Brianna are voting for Tarzan. T Squiggle says, love me some Tarzan. Olivia is voting for Lilo and Stitch. Kay and Happy Travel Vlogs and Terry are voting for Tarzan. Terry. Kim is also voting for Tarzan. Alexis says the Alien movie, please give me a luau. Tacy also votes for Lilo and Stitch. Tyler had to flip a coin, but Stitch wins, which I love. Is a great way to pick. Hannah votes for Lilo and Stitch votes for Tarzan because Lilo and Stitch already got their ride. So give some love to Tarzan. I respect it. And is Tarzan the winner?
Yep.
Interesting. People want Tarzan in the parks. Is kind of what I'm gathering here from this live stream so far.
Yep.
Let's move on. Next up, Hercules versus Tangled. Now, this is hard as well, I think, for people out there, because people...
I don't think so. I think people will say Tangled.
But people were emphatically Hercules earlier and have been emphatically Tangled. So we're very high on one and very high on the other. Maybe it's a good thing. Which way are you leaning?
Tangled, because I think of the ride in the pirates room with the
lanterns, and you like those characters. I think that these would both be so good.
And they can have you facing each other. So you're just facing random strangers while you saw.
I think that
the end.
They could also do like a snuggly duckling, and
maybe they should have
that stuff.
I have a new vision. You're paddling yourself.
No, you've lost me. I don't want to work out at Disney World.
You're paddling yourself into the pirates ride in the dark room, into the lantern scene, and then you paddle out. That's all.
No,
I'd be happy with that.
You know what I should have?
And they play the music and the lanterns float, and then I catch one.
Let me down some hair, and I'll climb up a big thing. Strap us on, and we have to climb up this big tower. That'd be pretty fun. We can do your boat ride and my climbing. Climb the tower and ride the boat.
Okay. And then fight some people with a
frying pan. Yeah. And you can ride on a horse.
Hey.
And have a chameleon on your shoulder.
Okay.
Deal.
Yeah. It's more of a experience. It's like the new Rise.
I think though that Hercules is like a seamless Epcot fit. And I think that they should do that, because I think that would really look great there, and I think would fit well. I think they should do both of these, but I think if I had to pick one, I'm going to pick Tangled.
So you're picking Tangled?
Yeah, I think that it's kind of slightly, but I think I like the movie more. I like the characters, and I think that it maybe fits in a Magic Kingdom with like that kind of ride as well. So I'm going to vote for Tangled. I think Tangled's going to be a tough one to be to take down here. Stacy, and they're kicking us off with a vote for Tangled. So is Brianna. T Squiggle says, I'll be having a dance party to that music. Maybe the Tarzan music. Yeah. Kay votes for Tangled. Olivia votes for Tangled. Alex votes for Hercules. Tacey and Kim are voting for Tangled. T Squiggle says love both, but if they're against each other, definitely Tangled wins. Hannah and Kaden are voting for Tangled, and Alex is going to switch it up and say, no, actually Tangled. Happy Travel Vlogs is voting for Hercules. Llama Floof is voting for Tangled. Tyler votes for Hercules because I love Greek food. Delicious. T Squiggle agrees. Kaden says that Tangled could have a snuggly duckling bar. Magical Castle votes for Hercules. Terry votes for Hercules. And T Squiggle has a rap name for Heidi's rapper name. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but the one I came up with was Dee Wild, since she loves Animal Kingdom, but feel free to come up with your own if you prefer. Love it. Sunny B and Dee Wild.
Hey.
Love it.
I sound feral, and I like it.
Dee Wild?
Yeah.
And Sunny B? What a duo.
But
Tangled, I love that so much.
Yeah,
also,
Tangled.
we haven't stopped, like after that stream, we just like loved that you came up with like rapper names.
Yeah,
and hilarious. I think that's so fun. Tangled is moving on. Yeah. And just wait. This is why this happened.
What is this?
Just wait. So on this side of the bracket, I forgot to say this. Indiana Jones is on this side of the bracket, and Encanto is on the other side, because those were the most like confirmed things that are coming next.
Yeah.
So I put those there because they didn't fit in the bracket like on their own somewhere. So I put them both there because then we could compare. Would we rather see something else or what they've kind of said is coming?
No.
So Indiana Jones, obviously they have said this concept about it.
Is that not
Animal
like
Kingdom.
For real?
I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but I think it was pretty confirmed.
That's so unfortunate.
Versus Frozen. Again, that's what happened in the bracket. So if you're like, this is unfair, this is the only way that it worked. And I wanted to include them, like both, obviously, because they're new potential things. Indiana Jones is not a movie that or like a brand that I know much about. And I don't know if I love the Animal Kingdom fit. And
I don't.
Like to the point of Magical Castle, I think having it at Disneyland and it being like its own ride, I think is like a charm thing where like you can go ride it there. And I think if I want to land, I want a Frozen land, you know?
And it's a cop out. Like Like
people like Indiana Jones, and it's a good brand for them.
Isn't it like similar to Dinosaur?
Yes.
So it's like a cop out because
Right.
like you're taking away Dino Land
and you're just like
and
replacing
putting it.
Apparently, they're gonna
ride that
do
already
new
is there.
things. I kind of saw some stuff online the other day that like it'll be new things and new elements and stuff. I don't really know though. I just think that Frozen.
I'm just sad that they're adding that.
Are you drinking all my juice over here?
Yeah, I got a bit thirsty. I just feel sad that they're adding that to Animal Kingdom because, as I mentioned earlier, I feel like it's.
And we've never rode the Indiana Jones ride, so
I'm sure it could be exceptional. We might love it, but I just feel like it doesn't fit there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna vote for Frozen.
Same.
And the chat is also, I think, very heavily Frozen. Stacy, Justine, and Kay are voting for Frozen. Tyler with a vote for Indiana Jones. Alex and Hannah and Caden are voting for Frozen. Happy Travel Vlogs is voting for Frozen. T Squiggle says, I don't think Indiana Jones really needs more than the show, so Frozen wins for sure. Magical Castle votes for Frozen, so does Kim. And then Brianna says that, okay, so the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland is so good, but I still think that Frozen makes sense for Disney World. I agree. And that is why Frozen is moving on. And that, again, this is why Indiana Jones was here. It's because it's the most confirmed thing, along with Encanto, which is on the other side later on.
Nice.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So Frozen is moving on.
To
go up against Tangled, and then I guess like the winner of this will be Tarzan.
Okay.
Because Tarzan's awaiting. I made this mistake last time, and I said, here's our final. And then it was, here's one. So it's going to be this matchup awaiting Tarzan. So we got Frozen versus Tangled.
Tangled. Because Frozen's already got stuff, and I want the ride that I spoke of earlier.
This is kind of hard because I think, again, I guess
what are you adding for the Frozen?
I just want Frozen land. I want Frozen that's overseas. I know you want
the land, but Tangled
has nothing, I guess.
You don't want to ride?
Yeah, I do. But I think, would I rather be able to go to the world of Tangled or Arendelle is my thing that I'm stuck on. If they're going to make a land.
They probably won't make an Arendelle.
They should. They should. I'm going to vote for Tangled, though, because I think that it's new. I think I would really love it as well. Like, it'd be the new thing there, like in terms of they don't really have anything. But they really should build a Frozen area.
You think so?
I think that one of the two parks over here has to have a Frozen thing.
But they already have it at Epcot.
But not enough. Not enough. Frozen is a huge thing. It's insanely big. So I don't know why they don't have more than what they have.
Because it's at Epcot.
Yeah, but put it somewhere else. Magic Kingdom. Stick an Arendelle there somewhere. I don't know. This one's hard, but Tangled for me. And you were just easily Tangled?
Yeah. Because I already have some Frozen. So.
That's fair. Okay. Interesting. Terry also earlier voted for Frozen because Indiana Jones would just be filled with snakes. Would you like that?
Me?
But yeah, a bunch of snakes.
Real ones?
Yeah. It's an Animal Kingdom.
Sure.
T Squiggle with just an I love that because this matchup's probably insane. Tacey is voting for Tangled. Happy Travel Vlogs is voting for Frozen. Kay and Brianna and Caden and Olivia are all voting for Tangled. Tyler and Stacy and Terry are voting for Tangled as well. T Squiggle votes for Tangled. So does Alex. Hannah says, this is an impossible choice. I think because we have a Frozen ride, I'm going to choose Tangled, and so is Magical Castle. And Tangled easily wins to go up against, in this side of the bracket, we have a whole other side going up against Tarzan. Tangled versus Tarzan. This one's a Tangled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Tarzan, I really like. I personally would like it, but I feel like the draw for people would be Tangled. Like, it would draw people in. Yeah.
I think if you announce both of these tomorrow, which one is going to have more of a buzz?
Yeah, Tangled. People would literally.
I think people would freak out about Tangled, and I think the general public person
would be
probably knows Tangled more than Tarzan.
And probably like kids would love it.
Yeah.
Everyone would love it.
Wow.
Get the ride out, guys. Get the ride out.
We've decided that one of our things should be Tangled because the other side will be the other one and then the ultimate winner. But we think that Tangled for sure needs some representation. I'm interested that Tarzan made it this far.
Yeah.
I didn't think that Tarzan would make it.
I feel like because it seems like an obvious fit in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like it does.
I guess. Kind of like the Hercules and Epcot. It's like a seamless fit.
Pretty obvious.
Okay, I love it. Where are we at? Brianna votes for Tangled, so does Stacy and Hannah and Tacey. All voting for Tangled. Caden with a vote for Tarzan. Kim and Tyler vote for Tangled. Magic in Michigan votes for Tangled. So does Kay. Love me some Flynn Rider. Love it. Happy Travel Vlogs is voting for Tarzan. And T Squiggle says, wow, this one's a tough one for me, but I would have so much fun in Tarzan land. Love it. Tangled, though, is our winner. Now,
well, of this side
of the bracket. We're going to move on to the next side, and we'll give a little stretch once we're ready. I know that this has more room for discussion. Other like brackets are quicker, so thanks for bearing with us. This one might be a little longer than usual, right?
Yeah,
but we're having a great time. Hopefully, let us know if you are. We're going to move on to the other side of the bracket and see if this will be harder, easier to pick our winner to take on Tangled in the final. Terry also voting for Tarzan, but Tangled is our winner. Our next matchup is Zootopia versus Inside Out.
Interesting.
Easy for me.
Yeah.
For you too?
For me, yeah. But I feel like this is an interesting one because it's like both had the first movie. Both are going to have another movie coming out.
A sequel, yeah.
Which one's more popular? I feel like it's funny because in the math, it's Zootopia that's more popular originally.
Yeah, because it made $1 billion.
But I feel like overall, Inside Out feels like the one that
more
people talk about.
I think for me, okay, this is how I look at it. People also don't agree that Zootopia fits in Animal Kingdom, and I respect it, but
they're literal animals.
They're animals, which then this comes to your point about the city, though, that it's like Wakanda, a lot of city, but it's animals that live in harmony together in this place. Inside Out to me fits in like an Epcot, like imagination pavilion, but Zootopia to me just seems cooler. Like Inside Out to me, like is a good movie and good characters, but I don't really see the level of like immersion and like a fun attraction. Like,
yeah, like what would the attraction be?
Yeah, like an adventure through Riley's mind is great, but like a Zootopia police chase is like writes itself as a fun attraction.
They're like doing that like Bugs Life thing, right? Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently. That's like so weird to me.
Which to me,
they should have done.
If the only Zootopia thing at Disney World is going to be a show in the Tree of Life, I think it's a waste of a
it's like
brand.
You shouldn't have even done that. Like if all you're going to do is that, like I feel like you should have just not done it. Because
I don't see a big, like, I know that people don't love Tough to Be a Bug, but I don't see the big shift of like now this new like Zootopia show is going to be like a high wait time and everybody's going to go.
No, I really don't think so. And I just feel like, why is it in the tree? Like, that's kind of weird.
I don't know. I don't know how the chat's going here, but I'm a bit nervous, and we'll see. Here we go.
I'm gonna vote for Zootopia.
Yeah. Okay. Tacey is voting for Inside Out. Tyler says Zootopia easy. Magical Castle Zootopia.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, could I start again?
So one Inside Out and then two Zootopia. Okay. T Squiggle also Zootopia. Hannah and Magic in Michigan and Terry all vote Inside Out. We have a vote for Caden for Inside Out. Olivia votes for Zootopia. Kim votes Inside Out. Kay votes for Zootopia. Magical Castle says the conservation station should be rethemed to Zootopia and you could take the train there. I agree. I would love that. I know that you want to go there bad to see like the petting zoo and stuff.
Yeah, I want to go see the
petting zoo. I think that Zootopia needs to come to the park. Brianna is hopping off for some schoolwork. Nice. And we'll try to come back. Thank you. Also Inside Out, but only because I think it'd be really good in Epcot for more kids stuff. And Happy Travel Vlogs votes for Zootopia.
It was pretty close, this one. Wow.
Which I will say is a good sign for the Inside Out sequel. Because I think that I don't know how well it's going to do. I'm hoping that it does well. But the Disney Plus thing, I think for movies is a big whole nother topic. But I, again, love Zootopia. And I think it fits great in the park. But clearly these would both be good things. But Zootopia is going to win by 1 vote to take down Inside Out. Next up. Now, I put this in here, Mickey and Friends. It exists over in Disneyland. There was Mickey's Toontown Fair at Disney World. So basically what I had put here is like a Mickey and Friends area. Okay, like a Toontown versus the Jungle Book. Now, Like I said,
Book would be sick.
Disneyland already has Mickey and Friends and Toontown, and like they got like you can go to the houses, have some food. There's the Runaway Railway, and there's like a Chippendale little coaster. I, as a kid, loved going to this area to like go in their houses at Florida and stuff. Like if you went there, you could go there, like and go in their houses. I loved it. I think it's a cool kid thing. I think that Jungle Book is a seamless Animal Kingdom fit, and I think this one's harder for me though. What about you?
For me, it's pretty easy because like it's kind of like that argument, like they have Toontown at Disneyland, so like that's fine with me.
That's
like
fair.
I'm happy that we get to go visit that and see it. Do I think that like I need it at Disney World and need to see it every time? I'm not sure. I haven't gone, so I can't say.
Yeah.
But the Jungle Book would be so cool, and it's like the perfect dark ride for them to add.
Yeah.
In Animal Kingdom, and like it wouldn't like interfere with anything because it can just be a dark ride inside because it's literal animals.
I think on this one, if I'm thinking of like a land and an area, I think that Toontown is great. I just think at Disney World, I would like it better if there was an easy way to transition Runaway Railway there. I love the fit of Runaway Railway at Disneyland, like and going to Toontown and like and stuff. I think that is just like amazing, and I love that so much. And I do think that having a designated area for like Mickey and Friends, I think like is a really good idea. I don't know what park it fits best at though. I feel like it's not really like a Magic Kingdom thing to me. I feel like that's more like lands, and it's like this kingdom, and I don't picture that on the outskirts of Cinderella Castle. You can go see Mickey in their houses. I guess maybe that's where they live, because where else in the parks are they going to live? But I think if you turned Animation Courtyard, where the Disney Junior Friends is, and you like turn Launch Bay in that area into Toontown, I think that would be great.
That'd be a good spot for it.
So I'm going to vote for Toontown very closely. I think that Jungle Book would be great. My only worry about it is that I don't know if it's like a big brand draw for people. Yeah. Which is unfortunate, because it's a good movie and it fits perfectly in it, like an Animal Kingdom. And I think would be a great land, great characters, great movie. But I think that Mickey and Friends, which is interesting, maybe need more of an area and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat has to say. T Squiggle, justice for Toontown. Bring it back. Caden agrees, bring it back. Tasty dreams about Toontown. Magical Castle says we should have a Toontown because it's a great place for little kids to explore. I agree. I think that'd be great. Kay votes for Jungle Book. Magic of Michigan misses Toontown. Hannah votes for the Jungle Book. So does Terry and Tyler, because a lazy river and a ride with Shere Khan. Fun. Stacy votes for Toontown to come back. Mickey started it all. I remember walking through Toontown on our honeymoon in 2009. It was the cutest. He only has one ride, and he needs more. A Magical Castle says most families visit different parks.
Won't visit.
Oh, sorry. Yes, won't visit different parks with small kids. Mickey and Friends should have a home at each park. He's my exception. Sorry, I can't keep everything in one comment. That's okay. It's a great comment. Two great comments, and I agree with you. I think Mickey and Friends need some representation, and it's going to get it by moving on to the next round.
Nice.
Next up, a Goofy movie versus Monsters, Inc. A Goofy movie is on here because there was heavy rumors that Rock and Roller Coaster would be Powerline themed.
Wow, that's interesting.
So I put it on here because of that reason. And it's going up against Monsters, Inc., which for me is the easy answer here.
Yeah, me too.
Monsters, Inc. would be great. And there was a rumor, like along the lines, that they would like turn Rock and Roller Coaster to Monsters, Inc. with like the doors and stuff that you're going through.
That's cool.
That would be great.
That's really
I know it's more of like a thrill thing. And I think that maybe Monsters, Inc. is like a brand that should be like enjoyed by everybody. And maybe like Rock and Roller Coaster is not as accessible for like small kids and stuff. But Monsters, Inc., I think, needs a higher representation in terms of just like a Sully meet and greet and laugh floor.
Yeah.
I think that there's way more there. And laugh floor is criminally underrated. Laugh floor is so good and so fun. But I just think that Monsters, Inc. is a fun world like to be in. It'd be really cool. And I think a Goofy movie is a cool movie, but I don't think it's on the same level of a Monsters, Inc.
Yeah.
Agree? Any thoughts on Monsters, Inc.? What they could do?
I was just thinking. I feel like it'd be fun. I don't know like how, because like but like even just to like to explore like some kind of explore area where you could like go through different doors. And like and you could like walk through and then like scare or like some simulator or something that you could like do. That'd be so hilarious.
I kind of think that it'd be cool, like along the lines of this, where I think they do this at Universal for like the Jimmy Fallon ride, where like I'm pretty sure that you get like a color that then tells you when it's your turn to go, and you wait in like a lobby.
Okay.
Like imagine if you got to wait in this area and explore all of the doors and things, and then it was your turn and you go into your door.
Yeah.
And then that's how then you start the ride of this like mayhem of you're being transported in this door. That'd or something's happening with the door. I think that could be cool. I don't know, something along those lines. So Monsters Inc. to me is a great answer. Even though Powerline could be fun and Goofy Movies cool, I think that Monsters Inc. is just awesome. T Squiggle kicking us off with the Monsters. Caden and Tyler and Magical Castle also agree Monsters Inc. Hannah and Kim are voting for Monsters Inc. Magic Michigan is very scared to lose Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm sorry, I know it's always being talked about. Hopefully for you it stays safe at this next expo, unless they're going to retheme it. Tacy says a Goofy Movie. We need more Powerline and to eat that super cheesy pizza. It does look so delicious. Magic Michigan votes for Monsters Inc. So does Happy Travel Vlogs. Olivia says an actual Monsters Inc. ride would fit so seamlessly and be really fun. I agree. Terry votes for Monsters Inc. and so does Alex. And Stacy says, again, more representation for Mickey and Friends. Goofy is an OG. I'd love to have something from Goofy Movie stick it back in Storybook Circus next to Barnstormer. Interesting. Monsters Inc. is moving on, though, and I think is a really good option for the parks, in my opinion. Next up, Beauty and the Beast versus Mary Poppins. Now, Beauty and the Beast has obviously representation with like you can go to Enchanted Tales with Belle and eat at Be Our Guest, but it doesn't have an attraction per se.
Doesn't it have the other Beauty and the Beast show too?
Yes, but I'm saying on the level of overseas, like there's that really cool dark ride that's like super insane to me versus Mary Poppins, which was rumored to be put in the UK pavilion, and that's been scrapped. I think. What
was that ride going to be in?
I saw different things about this, and I could be wrong.
Be like that, like
I heard that it was going to be like Dumbo indoors. And if that was the case, that is the dumbest waste I've ever seen of something as iconic as Mary Poppins.
What were they going to do?
It should be a dark ride, easily, in the UK. A Mary Poppins dark ride would be incredible.
On ponies.
Or something.
Going through those or just carousel ponies.
Just a dark ride. And you see her, like, I don't know, pulling stuff out of her bag. And then you get to go into all these. You need to be on the carousel ponies. And then it should be all the animated little guys around you. So which way are you going?
Well, I don't know, because
if you can give me that Beauty and the Beast dark ride from overseas, I'm all in on that. And Beauty and the Beast, I think it's one of my favorite Disney movies, and I do think that it deserves more than it has, even if it does have like a restaurant and a stage show and a little meet and greet / like show. I think that there's way more potential. I think that Mary Poppins is one of those though where it's iconic and people really love it and probably does need a little bit more than just like a meet and greet, but I don't know what you could do. Yeah.
I feel like I would say Beauty and the Beast because the more I think about it, it's like I just personally like meeting Mary Poppins. Like I feel like that's a lot. And that's enough for me.
There you go. Everyone else is saying, so Tacy is saying Mary Poppins, Tyler and T Squiggle are voting for Beauty and the Beast. It's T Squiggle's favorite Disney movie. Kim votes Mary Poppins. Stacy votes Beauty and the Beast. Caden votes for Mary Poppins. T Squiggle says, love my Beastie Boy. We know that's true. Magic Michigan vote for Beauty and the Beast. So does Happy Travel Vlogs. And Olivia, you're speaking my language, girl. Just like in Tokyo. That ride looks so cool to me. I don't know how they do that thing where he goes from the Beast to the Prince. All the cool stuff. I am so here for that. Let's make it happen. Alex says Beauty and the Beast. Hannah says, wow, hard choice. Bella's my favorite princess. Me too. So got to go Beauty and the Beast. And Terry agrees. Beauty and the Beast. This is a fun thing to me. I hope that you're all having fun. But I love chatting parks. And I think it's so cool. Like in our perfect world, as in this chat right now, 22 plus us, 24, like Disney fans on voting what we would see. I know it's not like a big sample size, but it's enough people to give an opinion and have a good little sample size. So Beauty and the Beast is moving on. Next up, I had to put this in here because it's not a movie, but it's very high up on people's wish list. Disney Villains versus Peter Pan, which has a ride, but when you see overseas again, a grand scale Peter Pan of what they can do looks really awesome. But Disney Villains just makes itself. And I almost didn't want to put this in the bracket because I was worried it would just easily beat everything, and we'll see if it does. And if it does, it does, because it's what people want. But I think that this is like easy money and something fun. I think the only downside of Villains Land, which I saw like in a video online, was that people said that kids would be afraid of it and not as into it, which I could see being the case.
I see to some extent, but I don't think they would make it like so scary that like.
No, but I just think in general that some kids are afraid to even see, like, if you see Evil Queen in the park, like she's like scary, or like.
But then just don't take your kid there.
I know, but like in Disney's head, they're not going to make a land that kids don't want to go to.
I guess, but like there's such a niche group of like people who love villains that I feel like, yeah.
Now I'm in the camp of this because this is the thing online. Do you do a Villains Land or a fifth park and it's a Villains Park?
Like
yeah. Llama Floof said. I'm in the camp of Land.
I'm in the camp of Land.
I don't think that there's enough to be a fifth park, in my opinion. Of course, you could make it happen where you make it a thing. But I think if Disney came back and said our response to Epic Universe is a Villains Park, okay, great, but I don't think was the best idea.
Yeah.
It like, in my opinion. I think it should be a land, and that's easily my vote here over Peter Pan.
Yeah, same. Sorry.
Staring again?
Yeah, I'm staring.
I just think there's like a lot of potential here. I think it'd be great. Tyler, Villains for sure. Magical Castle agrees. So does Tacey and Happy Travel Vlogs and Dreaming of Tomorrowland. All going Villains. T Squiggle says Villains would be incredible. I agree. Olivia agrees with a Villains Land for sure. Stacy would love a Villains Land. Caden, like you said, this is for Llama Floof, this question. Kim votes for Villains. Hannah votes for Villains, and so does Terry. I'm interested to see again how far that this goes because I was worried to put it in, but we'll see. Because this is a potential, and it's not like a movie per se, but like when you think about, I think, other movies, like you never think about the villain specifically. It's like, oh, all these other characters, but like a villain area would be pretty cool. So Villains is moving on. Next up, The Incredibles versus Sleeping Beauty, which I know Sleeping Beauty I wanted to put in here because I don't want to exclude any really princesses. Hopefully I didn't, but I think this is maybe more of a Disneyland thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm in the camp of give me all the Incredibles stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Incredibles would be cool, I feel.
I think there is so much you can do with Incredibles. And Disneyland has the Incredicoaster, which I'm excited at DCA to ride.
Yeah.
But I think you can do more.
Or like something different.
Yeah, like Incredibles is just like, it's kind of like on the same lines as like a Marvel where you can do like big adventures. No, like I'm saying that you can do like a big adventure and like you're like battling villains and it's like you're coming on and the music hits so much to me that like you'd be so I don't know. I'm hyped about it. I wish that it would happen because I think just meeting Incredibles characters to me isn't enough of like eating a cookie and meeting characters doesn't do it for me with Incredibles.
Yeah.
I need an attraction. You agree?
Yes.
Sleeping Beauty is a cool thing, but I think it's more of a Disneyland thing. It's her castles over there. I think if you were going to do this over here, you'd have to do Cinderella first because there can't be no Cinderella ride or land, but then a Sleeping Beauty one to me would seem reversed, in my opinion. So I'm voting Incredibles. Steve Welcome says, hello, my Canadian crew and friends. Quick shout out. I'm at work trying to sneak in. Steve, you are so sweet for always hopping in here. We appreciate it so much. Tacey is voting for Sleeping Beauty. Magical Castle is voting Incredibles. Hannah and Tyler are voting for Sleeping Beauty. Terry votes Incredibles. So does Olivia and Dreaming of Tomorrowland. Stacy says that Sleeping Beauty has always been meh. To me, better in Disneyland. We need more Incredibles. Caden votes Incredibles. Happy Travel Vlogs is voting for Sleeping Beauty, and T Squiggle says Incredibles. We already have the theming at the Contemporary, so continue bringing Incredibles to the East Coast. I agree. Incredibles, my favorite Pixar movie. I love it so much, and I want more for sure. And I cannot wait to ride the Incredicoaster. That's going to be so fun. Next up, Aladdin versus Mulan. Interesting one here, right?
That is interesting.
Both of these, I would say, they have representation in the parks, but I don't think a lot. Like Aladdin has like the magic carpets ride, and you can meet him there. And then you can meet Jasmine in Morocco.
Yeah.
And Mulan, you can meet her. But like, it's not that much of them, you know? What do you think?
I don't know, because I'm like, what kind of ride would you have with them?
I think that, again, these are like a lot of these are just like a dark ride potential to me, which is fine. But I think for me, I want like Aladdin stuff. Like I want something with like the genie. I think there's more there with like a genie, you know, like some kind of ride of like, I don't know. You know, something more. Even though you could do like a Mulan, like a battle kind of thing, I think like Aladdin is just more like obviously magical. So I think there's more like potential there. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess that. I think now that you just said that, I'm gonna pick Aladdin because at first I was gonna just go with the one I liked because I couldn't think of like what it could be, but I guess like the magic carpet, like. But I already have the magic carpet, right? But like an actual like.
What if you did? Yeah, I don't know. Like
I don't really know.
I don't know, switch out Soren and make it a magic a carpet ride. I don't know, something. Where are we at here? Tacey votes for Mulan, so does Kim and Kay. Hannah votes Aladdin. T Squiggle says, I personally think there's more we could do with Aladdin than Mulan. I would agree. Terry votes Aladdin. Stacy is getting real. I love it. Says get rid of the incredibly squeaky magic carpets and revamp the area. The shop is there and the Aladdin and Jasmine meet and greet. Let's get some more and incorporate the genie. I love the genie. I don't know why there's not really any representation of him. I think he's great. And then Caden, Happy Travel Vlogs, Tyler, and Alex all coming through with votes for Aladdin. So Aladdin is moving on.
Yes.
Next up, Moana, which I know has Journey or whatever through water, but
isn't there?
I haven't done it, and I'm not sure. And well, like allegedly, but now, okay. So the original thing was that Blue Sky Moana's Utopia, and then it was Encanto Indiana Jones. Who knows what's confirmed? Versus Snow White, who has Mine Train.
Yeah, she's Mine Train.
Yeah, but do you want more of Snow White?
Hey. Mine Train's a huge ride.
And Snow White's a huge movie. It's the first movie. Do you want more of it? I want more Moana. I want a big adventure Moana ride.
Yeah.
So much you could do with Moana. And Moana is like insanely popular.
Yeah.
Like kids, it's on like the level of like a Frozen with kids. People love Moana. I the other day played You're Welcome at the daycare for the kids, and they all go, who is that? And then I say, he's from Moana. And they go, oh, yeah, can you play the Moana song? So then they don't want to hear him. They want to see her and hear her because people love her. Like, kids love Moana. So, I don't know. I'm voting Moana easily. Any ideas what it could be? No clue. I think some, like, adventure.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to have some drink there. And again, we haven't done Journey of Water.
No.
But I think, again, I haven't done it, so I don't know. I think that Moana deserves more than just that.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So. Even before doing it. Even if it's awesome. I think, like Tyler said, though, like this has a good potential for like a Snow White in Germany or something, like a little ride there, you know? But Moana for me is just high up there on my list of things that I would want. Kim votes for Moana, so does T Squiggle and Stacy and Kay. And Hannah, lots of Moana love. Caden agrees. Magical Castle says Moana minus the crab. That is so funny to me. Oh my gosh. Terry votes for Moana. Like I said, Tyler votes for Snow White. The Germany expansion could be cool. Olivia says the Moana water ride would be an excellent idea. And Alex votes for Snow White. And Happy Travel Vlogs votes for Moana. There we go. Moana. Moving on. But some Snow White love. Next up, we have Cars versus Emperor's New Groove and Llama Floof. Maybe you're watching out there. This is here. Everybody wants a Kronk pull the lever coaster, but people love cars. This could maybe come down to the thing about like Disneyland has cars, so maybe we don't want cars
I
at
feel
Disney
that
World.
way.
You feel that way?
Yeah, I think that was a really good point.
It is a good point.
Because like, and cars is like so big at Disneyland that it's like, if you do it here, I feel like it wouldn't compare to there.
Yeah.
Because like they wouldn't be able to do like as much.
The whole
here.
Radiator Springs.
Yeah, so it's like, why even bother bringing it here like more? Why don't you just leave it there?
Yeah.
So I'll pick Emperor's New Groove for that reason.
I'll also pick Emperor's New Groove, and this is where my logic of a whole land is kind of out the window, because I don't think you could do a whole Emperor's New Groove land.
Yeah, no.
I think you could do a really good attraction though.
Yeah.
Right? Like whether it's a new coaster or you retheme something like a rock and roller coaster and it's like a pull the lever thing, or I don't know, something. But I think that Cars is special at like DCA, and I can't wait to like experience it for myself.
Yes.
But I just think that it fits over there. It's over there. And I think to Magical Castle's point, if you bring it over to Disney World, it kind of like cheapens how cool it is over there, right? Like I think that it's like it's always nice to have like original things, kind of separate. Let's see what the chat has to say. People love Emperor's New Groove. Also T Squiggle loves Tamatoa. Shiny. Hannah votes for Cars. Tacey votes Emperor's New Groove. Kim votes for Cars. Alex and Tyler vote for Emperor's New Groove. T Squiggle agrees. Emperor's New Groove would be so fun. Magical Castle votes for Emperor's New Groove. So does Kay. Magical Michigan also votes Emperor's New Groove and needs a Cuscotopia in my life. Love it. Caden says Cars. Hazardland in California. Give Emperor's New Groove a shot. Terry also votes Emperor's New Groove. Happy Travel Vlogs votes for Cars. Stacy says Emperor's New Groove is slept on. We have the Cars section at Art of Animation and the show in Hollywood Studios. We need something for the Emperor's New Groove. And Magical Castle says, and Route 66 works in California because it ends there. Beautiful. I love it so much. I didn't even know that. I love it even more. But Emperor's New Groove is moving on. Next up, Coco versus Big Hero 6. Now, this one is easy for me because, again, kind of the Disneyland logic. I think for potential, I would love like a Big Hero 6. Again, I'm all about like the adventure and like feeling like I'm like moving quick and flying around. Like I would love to have like a battle ride with that, but I think that Coco needs something. And I think a Coco Land would be beautiful.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Like just like everything about it, like the music. I don't know what you could do for like an attraction per se, but I think land-based Coco would be excellent.
Yeah.
I agree.
I love Big Hero 6. I love Baymax. So like my heart would want to pick that one, but I feel like more realistically, and I also like love Coco, but like more realistically, I think Coco fits. And the fact that like Disneyland now has incorporated
a little, San Francisco, yeah.
Maybe they could put more there. And
I think that Coco is a very high likelihood of something coming, in my opinion. Like if you had to rank these by possibility of what you actually think is going to happen, I think that Coco would be high on people's like, that's probably going to happen.
I agree.
Again, I think it fits at an Epcot. I think it fits at a Magic Kingdom. If you did like a Behind Big Thunder, like that was kind of teased at, I think there's lots of potential. So I'm going to go Coco as well. Let's see. We have Magical Castle kicking us off with a vote for Coco. Tacey votes for Big Hero 6. Caden votes for Coco.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Could you restart?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We got 2 votes for Coco and 1 for Big Hero 6.
Okay.
Tyler votes for Coco. Excuse me. Kay votes for Big Hero 6. Happy Travel Vlogs is Coco 1000%. Stacy says, wow, a tough one. Coco would be great. Magic Michigan votes for Big Hero 6. Olivia says that Coco is not a want, but a need. I agree. I think it'd be great. Hannah says, ooh, I would love both, but I choose Coco. Kim votes for Coco. So does T Squiggle. Terry votes for Big Hero 6. Alex says Coco, no question. McKenna is voting Big Hero 6. I'm excited to see San Francisco. I wish there was like an attraction there, but I can't wait to meet Baymax again. I love meeting him at Epcot when he was there. You give him like a little hug, but Coco, is a big contender, I think, and it's moving on. Next up, round 2, Zootopia versus Toontown. And I'll preface this by saying later on, again, like Indiana Jones kind of popped up, Encanto is going to pop up as well.
Okay.
Just so we're aware. Encanto's over here, but I gave it a buy round because it's confirmed that it's happening. You know what I mean? Well, confirmed. Like, it was that thing where it's like, we're doing Indiana Jones and Encanto at Animal Kingdom.
Oh, okay. I keep getting confused with all the things.
What do you think here?
This one's tough, but I think because of what people said earlier, like Magical Castle said it, right? About the Disneyland thing of like in general, like when Disneyland has.
Yeah. But they also said that like there should be Mickey.
Yeah.
Here. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm talking about like the statement of like to leave certain stuff at Disneyland.
Yeah.
For me, that's how I feel about Toontown, but I also didn't get to experience like Toontown before or whatever. Yeah. So I'm just going to vote for Zootopia because of that.
I know that it's not going to win here.
You don't know that.
Wow. I think based on my chat peek here that there's
a few.
Yeah. I would love a Zootopia, but that's being from someone whose Zootopia is their favorite Disney movie. And I just think, again, like the level of immersion and the attraction, I think could be great. I do think, though, that there should be more representation for Mickey and Friends. And I think that Toontown is a great way to do that because, like, Magical Castle said, I'll pull it up, says Toontown because Mickey can't be homeless. I think is very funny. But Zootopia, for me, I just think is one of those things that is like a movie that would be great in the parks. And I think for me in my life, will I get to go overseas? I would love to and stuff, but more realistically is if it's at Disney World, obviously it's way more like realistic and I would love if it's there. Yeah. So I got to vote for Zootopia. Tacey and Kaden and Tyler and T Squiggle all voting for Justice for Toontown. Kim votes for Toontown. Happy Travel Vlogs is voting for Zootopia. Stacy says, sorry. Don't be sorry, Stacy. It's okay though. I love Zootopia, but you're voting Toontown and I love it. I like in this matchup, I will accept it because Toontown I think is a great idea and they should have kept it or they should bring it back in some kind of way. Hannah votes for Zootopia. Magical Castle votes for Toontown. Like I said, Mickey can't be homeless. Kay votes for Zootopia. McKenna votes for Zootopia and says that Toontown was a fever dream that can stay gone. And in this matchup,
it's close though, so you might want to wait a minute.
I can wait a minute. It's very close.
Just to make sure that
anyone who's there, because I know that sometimes it kind of is a bit slower on some ends, or it takes sometimes longer for a chat to pop up. But
if you're watching and feel passionate about one, put your vote in.
Mm-hmm.
This could change it all.
And Magic in Michigan does change it all with a vote for Toontown. Toontown is moving on. Sorry, Nick and Judy. Love you guys. Next up, Monsters Inc. versus Beauty and the Beast.
Monsters Inc.
Yeah?
Yep.
Why?
Because I think
Beauty and the Beast has some stuff.
Yeah. And I like Monsters Inc. better than Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. I think, again, if in a perfect world you could bring that dark ride over from Tokyo, incredible. But like new thing, Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. needs something. When I look at what Pixar stuff is at Disney World, it's really just like the big thing is obviously Toy Story, which makes sense. And then it's like little things kind of sprinkled, like a Ratatouille, Cars, what else? Incredibles. What else am I missing? Up. Everything is kind of sprinkled. I think if you had like another big thing, like this could be the good potential. Like a Nemo's also sprinkled, but yeah, Monsters Inc. to me is a really good thing. You know, Beauty and the Beast is great, but like you said, has some representation. So Monsters Inc. is my vote pretty easily here. Tyler also said, I know this isn't I'm on here, but I want something with Chippendale, as they're my favorite and very underrated. Yeah, they have a Disneyland. Isn't it like a little coaster that's like that girl Gadget from Chippendale Rescue Rangers? Do you know that?
I'm not sure.
Is that confirmed? I feel like that is a thing in Toontown.
I feel like I don't know anything about Disneyland because I don't watch.
You don't actively seek out. Yeah, I think that is a thing. I could be wrong, which I know it's not like a big representation of Chippendale, but I think it's like a little coaster there, which who knows if I can fit on. It's probably for kids like the Barnstormer, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing. McKenna votes for Monsters Inc. So does Tacey and Caden and Kim and Happy Travel Vlogs and Magic in Michigan and Hannah and Alex all voting for Monsters Inc. Tyler votes for Beauty and the Beast. Magical Castle says Beauty and the Beast, the dark ride. I do love that idea for that dark ride. T Squiggle says, back with my Beastie Boy for this one. Want to see more with this movie? Stacy agrees, Beauty and the Beast. And Kay votes Monsters Inc. Love Boo. I love Boo too. She's so sweet. And is this one close?
Nope.
Not really. Monsters Inc. Moving on. Next up, Villains Land or area versus an Incredibles area.
For this one, I have to go with Villains.
It's tough. I like really want Incredible stuff, like very badly.
But they have the Incredicoaster and you can meet the Incredibles.
I know, but I want more than that. But in terms of this, I think which of these would be Villains is a great idea.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. I think for land, I think you could do lots with it. Very spooky. And I think I genuinely believe that if Disney doesn't do this, I think that it's a bad decision to not do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Incredibles, I think, is great. And it's not going to win here. I do think that it needs more. But I would say if in terms of a land, Villains Land is like
next level.
Yeah, pretty high up on the list of what they should do.
And there's like so much that you can do with it. That's why I feel like it's such a good idea, because it's like the opportunities are endless and you can take it like any way that you want. So it's like kind of like the obvious like next big land to do. It's
and we'll see if because again, if this makes it all the way, it's not a Disney movie that wins our Disney movie, but I guess it's like franchise, and Disney Villains is like a thing, right? But I think this is going to be easy, right? Villains needs to happen. Let me see. Caden votes for Villains. Happy travel vlogs. And Stacy, Villains are must. You are a little chilly.
A little chill in here.
Kim votes for Villains. T Squiggle says, love the Incredibles, but Villains just needs to happen. I agree. McKenna votes for Villains. It's not a must, but a need. Hannah says, I don't want the Villains to win it all, but for this, I have to go with the Villains. Kay votes for Villains all the way. Cruella DeVille is their favorite Disney character, and Tyler votes for Villains. Villains, I think, is going to be a tough one to beat, and it's moving on in this round. Next up, also Magic in Michigan voted the Incredibles.
Nice.
Love it. We have Aladdin versus Moana.
Moana. I don't know. I just feel like it's like what? I don't know.
I think again, like I think in this way, if I'm putting my head in what they're gonna do, it's obviously like Moana more likely, because I think like the time for Aladdin has kind of passed. Moana's huge, and I think both of these could be like a really good adventure, which I keep on saying. But I think that Moana would be really cool. Like water is a cool element. I think like people were kind of down on this being at Animal Kingdom, which I understand because it's not very animal focused. It's more water focused.
But it's still like Earth.
And then when they said it's going to come to Epcot, it's like, oh, cool. And I genuinely think that people thought it was going to be something other than what it is, like a walkthrough thing.
Why is it at Epcot? Because
it's like education of water and stuff, I think, right? It's like a cycle and like I don't know. Again, because I haven't done it. I'm going to vote for Moana, even though I love the genie. He's my favorite Disney character. I just think in terms of like a big land, that Moana would be really cool.
So you're voting for Moana?
Yeah. Crazy. Caden kicking us off with a vote for Moana. Kay also voting for Moana. Magical Castle and Kim are voting for Moana. Hannah says this one's a tough one, but going for Moana. Happy Travel Vlogs also loves Aladdin like me, but is going to go with Moana. Alex votes Aladdin. McKenna votes Moana. Stacy says I voted Aladdin last time, but I feel like we need more Moana. T Squiggle says Moana. I do like Aladdin a lot, but I think Moana just offers so much more fun. I agree. And I think for kids be loving Moana a lot. And the songs are great. Obviously, like Aladdin's are great too, but Moana is our winner this round. Next up, Emperor's New Groove versus Coco.
I'm going to go with Coco.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for me, I like Coco better. And also I feel like there's more
potential
obvious ways that it can kind of fit.
Coco's big. Coco could fit at a few different places, genuinely. And I think would be so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know what they would do, like I said last time, for like an attraction for Coco, but I don't really know that it matters because the land would be really great. And they could come up with something, you know, like I kind of think it'd be cool now that I see this picture of like this like walkway, like, you know, with like the little, like, are those like leaves? And it kind of like appears as you walk. I think that'd be so cool with like a ride effect. If you're like on a ride and like you couldn't really see anything, like, and then like there's this kind of like a track.
It lights up.
And it like lights up like those leaves. I don't know, something.
Cool.
Yeah, Coco. Make it happen. I think this is like a high likelihood that there'll be a Coco something for sure. Magical Castle kicking us off with a Coco vote. So is McKenna and Kay. Tacey votes Emperor's New Groove. Tyler and Stacy are voting for Coco. Caden votes Emperor's New Groove. Hannah votes Coco 100%. Magic Michigan vote Emperor's New Groove. Kim votes for Coco. T Squiggle votes Emperor's New Groove, big part of their childhood. Happy Travel Vlogs votes for Coco. And McKenna says a Coco retheme for the Grand Fiesta Tour. I think that was a high likelihood, but I think when they looked at it, they thought, if this is popular, where is this line going to go?
Yeah, they have to change.
Because that happened to us the one time when we rode that ride. It was like during, I think, like COVID was still happening, but it wasn't when like it was peak and like the parks had just reopened. But we had to wait for a long time, and the line went like out the door. And I think that this is like a seamless fit to that ride. But I think if it became like an hour wait, where do people wait? They'd have to figure it out or something. Yeah. And Alex is also voting for Coco. I think this is going to happen for sure in some way, Coco, because it's great. People love it, and it's moving on. Next up, Mickey's Toontown / Mickey and Friends versus Monsters, Inc.
I'm going to stick with the same reasoning. I know that Monsters, Inc. there's a ride in Disneyland, right?
Yeah, there's like a dark ride.
Which
I'm voting Monsters, Inc. I know that there's a lot that we're going with the Mickey can't be homeless, which I would agree with. I just think like something new and different. I would love a Monsters Inc. area or like an attraction, something Monsters Inc. You know?
I know.
Even though I do kind of picture having kids and you take them to Toontown and you can go in like Mickey's house and meet Mickey, I think is so cute.
We'll do that at Disneyland. Like,
yeah, but I just think in terms of like, I guess the masses, like Disney World doesn't have really anything like that. So I think if they had that, it'd be cool. I'm still voting Monsters Inc., but
probably be like busy. Like, seems
yeah,
like it'd be busy.
Yeah, but I think that's
I feel
good.
like it fits at Disneyland because it's like more chill.
Then we can go on all the things while everybody goes to Toontown to meet Mickey and friends and goes to their houses. We can just go ride everything.
Oh, then there's no point in putting it there because we're not even going to enjoy it.
True. Stacy votes for Mickey and Friends. Caden votes for Toontown as well. Tyler is also voting for Toontown. Hannah votes for Monsters Inc. So does Kay. T Squiggle is saying sorry to Toontown and switching to Monsters Inc. on this one. Kim votes for Toontown. Alex votes for Monsters Inc. Happy Travel Vlogs is voting for Monsters Inc. as well. And McKenna votes for Monsters Inc. Imagine a walkthrough of the factory, and then we go on an adventure. That's what I said, McKenna, and I love it. We're on the same page. Magical Castle says, Toontown, sleeping in Town Hall is unacceptable for the boss. It also gives the masses with small kids a place to go. I would agree with that. I think it's a great point. And Tacey votes for Toontown as well.
It's close, but
it's close. What's that number?
It's just 3.
Oh, I was like that's not how you do a 5.
No.
Monsters Inc. is moving on by a couple votes. So unfortunately for now, Mickey's gonna have to sleep in Town Hall. I'm so sorry, Magical Castle and everyone else, but Monsters Inc. is moving on. Next up, Villains versus Moana.
Villains.
I feel like it's inevitable that Villains is going to make it to the end and if not win the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll win the whole thing, but I think for me, like
in terms of both of these,
yeah, I just feel like boo. I feel like for me, Moana is not enough to take on the Villains because she has some stuff,
at least something. Yeah, I think that Villains again is like very strong, and I think would be a great land.
Yeah,
you know,
it's all in the land.
Again, hopefully we don't get like an announcement that it's a 5th park. I think that's a bad idea, like I already said. But like a land is a great idea, and Moana, I do agree, needs more than what they got over there for that movie, but a villain's land is a great idea.
And I don't think they will, because like if you're saying the argument of like kids will be afraid to go there, then why would you make a whole park where parents aren't going to take their kids? Like that's just defeating the whole purpose.
Yeah,
I think it's fine if it's like an extension, and then people who want to go explore it can people who don't can.
It kind of gives me the vibes of an Epic Universe, what they're doing with like that, like the classic monsters. I know that it's not like the same, because like the classic monsters are probably more scary than like an Ursula and Hades, but I think that if you don't want to go do it, if it's like a land, then you don't have to go do it. But I think people like really love the villains, like, you know, so I think it's a great idea. Stacy kicking us off with a vote for the villains. Kim votes Moana. Kay votes for the villains. So does Kaden. McKenna votes for the villains. Hannah votes Moana. Happy Travel Vlogs votes Moana. And T Squiggle is voting for the villains. So is Magical Castle. And Tyler votes Moana. I can't think of what the setting would be for the villains land. Yeah, I think in their concept art, when they showed it at whatever that was for like the blue sky, they kind of had like a darkish castle in the back. I feel like it gives me like Maleficent vibes with like kind of like thorns everywhere with like a castle
and like stuff
around, right? Like I don't know, like Dr. Facility's little voodoo shop could be there, and you got like shopping and things dispersed around with like a central area, you know?
Yeah,
maybe. Brianna's also back from homework and is voting for villains. Villains is moving on. Next up, this is where Encanto comes into play. And again, for those that are just hopping in or forgot, Encanto and Indiana Jones were the two most like confirmed new additional big things to the Disney World in terms of that last like expo or like Destination D23. So I put those in there separately because they didn't fit in the bracket to be somewhere else. So Encanto has now shown up and is going up against Coco.
Nice. For me, I have my choice.
Yeah.
And I love both these movies. I feel like though I'm gonna pick Coco because I feel like I know, which is shocking because I like Encanto more probably, but I think that like I don't really know like what their plans are exactly.
I don't know either. I feel like that it must be some kind of like a darkish ride maybe or something like along those lines, like for Encanto.
And I just don't really like how it's an Animal Kingdom, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna pick Coco because like I don't really know. I feel like Coco, I have a vision of what the ride could be, and it's like very fitting.
Yeah.
Encanto, I'm not really sure like why it's an Animal Kingdom.
I respect it.
Because I get that like Antonio has the animals and there's like flowers, but like yeah.
So you're sticking Coco where Epcot or like Magic Kingdom somewhere or more Epcot?
One, but probably more Epcot.
I'm voting it Encanto. I love Encanto. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. I remember seeing it in the theater for the first time and it was like,
we loved it.
What is this movie? Like, what's this music? It's so good. And I do think that it probably doesn't fit as well at Animal Kingdom. I think it should be at Epcot.
Yeah.
The only reason I think they're trying to squeeze it into Animal Kingdom is to make it a bigger draw. That like you're gonna go to Animal Kingdom and do Pandora and Encanto stuff. Like Encanto's huge.
Encanto's huge because of TikTok, but like I don't think it's actually.
But the movie did so well on Disney Plus. Like when you look at what was always streamed in movies, Encanto was number one.
But that's because
or in the top 10 for like 90 something consecutive weeks.
But I think that's because of TikTok.
Maybe.
And like, are those TikTok people going to Disney World? Like, probably not.
Kids love it though.
I know that kids love it. Like, I know that people love it, but like with what they do at Animal Kingdom, like, is it going to be a draw? Like,
I know. I'm saying that it should come to the parks.
I think it should go to the parks.
I think it should go to Epcot.
But I think it should go to Epcot.
And have a new pavilion or something, and it's like the casitas in the back.
Yeah.
I think it would be great. I just think that it has to come. I hope that Disney doesn't miss their window with Encanto.
Which I feel like they will.
Which I feel like maybe they will if they don't announce something and it happens quick enough. Mm-hmm. We'll see. We're split over here. Let's see what you all have to say. Kim is voting Encanto. Kay votes for Coco. Tyler votes Coco. So does Happy Travel Vlogs. Stacy votes for Coco. T Squiggle votes Encanto. So does Brianna and Kaden. McKenna votes Encanto. And T Squiggle says Lin-Manuel Miranda knocks everything out of the park. And Encanto is a fave for sure. But I'm agreed that it should not be in Animal Kingdom. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I think, I guess it is just that maybe they think that it's a big draw and then it makes that park you're there longer. I don't know. And Kirsten is here. Welcome. Look, and your name changed from Drew's to Kirsten. Wow. Hopefully that wasn't because, like,
it's all your fault, Brandon.
I feel so bad if I'm so sorry. But welcome. Thanks for being here. And Magical Castle votes for Coco. Which one won?
So we should wait a minute.
We'll wait a minute. Okay. Maybe Kirsten has a vote.
Yes, we're voting.
Of which one should be next in the parks? Coco or Encanto?
Yes.
Both kind of like a similar vibe a little bit with like the style of it a little bit, like the colors kind of seem the same, you know?
Good music.
Yeah, good music. I think both should come to the parks. I don't know where and when, but hopefully soon. Kirsten.
That's nice.
You're so sweet. Even though, well, and it's like not one of those things where I couldn't say it, but then it was when I was trying to say Kirsten and then I would see it and then I was like, oh, so I apologize that you changed it. I'm so sorry.
All right.
But we're so glad that you're here. And Hannah and Kirsten both voting Encanto. And it, just like that, Encanto moves on to go up against the villains.
Oh, wow.
Right? I think this is the final on this side. I'm pretty sure, yes. Encanto or villains. Unless there's going to be another one that pops up somewhere. I don't want to say for sure. But in the present moment, it's villains versus Encanto.
Villains.
Two probably very likely things that will happen. Of course, Encanto is much more confirmed. But villains, I think people have been asking.
But I feel like if they don't do Encanto like ASAP, like
that's
then you might as well not do it. Like
they're gonna do it.
But I just feel like there's a draw. But again, like I feel like it's one of those movies that I love. Like I feel like people should love it, but I think it blew up because of TikTok and isn't necessarily gonna continue to draw people if it wasn't like it's out right now. Come.
I think it blew up because it was on Disney Plus during a time when people needed something on Disney like to watch.
And I'm glad that it did.
And then families watch it and kids love it.
Yeah, but I just think that like.
So I think if you say to kids, we're gonna go to like Disney World and we're gonna ride and see Encanto, or we're gonna ride and see villains. What do you think the kids are gonna care about?
Kids are gonna pick Encanto.
So I think this is where for adults and like Disney fans, people love the villains.
And I think that like Disney adults that love the villains will bring a lot of money.
Of course.
Go buy their villains.
And I can picture all of the vibes of like people taking their pictures and their outfits and the whole villain vibe. I love it. I'm going to vote for the villains because I think that it's cool and different and unique that Disney would do something like that. But I think in terms of what would be more popular for the mass amount of people is Encanto. In my opinion. I could be totally wrong. I want a villain's land. I think it's a great idea. But I also want Encanto. But I think that I want a villain's land more. That's why I'm going to vote for it. Agree?
Yep.
All right. Hannah kicks us off with a vote
I think those were earlier.
Oh, they were. Those were earlier.
I think Caden.
Caden kicking us off with a vote for the villains. T Squiggle votes the villains. Hannah votes Encanto. And Kirsten loves it. No worries. You're so sweet. Thanks for being here. Happy Travel Vlogs votes Encanto. Kay votes the villains all the way. Alex votes for the villains. McKenna votes villains. Tyler votes the villains. Dark Castle and the Maleficent vibe sounds so cool. Kirsten votes for villains and Brianna votes the villains. But because they could always change and add it with new movies. Oh,
that's true.
This would kind of be a vibe like an Avengers campus.
Yeah.
And some more Chernobog would be cool too. And Kim votes Encanto. Where like if there's a new movie, it's like, oh, you can now meet Magnifico from Wish.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
In the villains land. Ooh.
I just think it would be cool.
I agree. So villains is moving on. Oh, I knew it. See?
Okay.
Monsters, Inc. and villains.
Well, villains.
See, that's what I think the villains is going to win this whole thing.
I feel like people like Tangled enough though that like
it could be
Tangled
a fight.
Could be a fight.
Okay, but I don't think this will be a fight for anybody. I would love Monsters, Inc., but in terms of a land, Villains Land is great.
And the thing is like I don't even really like villains, but like it would be so cool.
We're also not huge villains people.
But like I just know that it would be so cool because it's like you can see the potential and the vibes.
They can do, and I think if anybody can walk the line of like, because I will say like Disney at Halloween with the Boo to You with like the Headless Horseman and like the characters in the parade, like yes, it's like a lighthearted like and fun thing, but like when you see that Headless Horseman come down, it's pretty spooky.
Yeah.
And I think they can walk that line of like spooky versus all of like the cool fun characters. I think it's a really good mix.
Yeah.
So villains, which is interesting. And I knew putting it in here that it would do well, but it's fair that it's in here, I think, because it is a franchise of things that like could be in the parks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this is fair. Let's see. McKenna kicking us off with a vote for the villains. Happy Travel Vlogs voting for Monsters Inc. Caden and T Squiggle and Tyler all voting for the villains. So is Brianna. Kay is apologizing to Monsters Inc. because they're voting for the villains. Kim and Kirsten and Alex and Hannah Rose all voting for the villains. Sorry there, Hannah. And Tyler says, I've never been to Disney in the fall for Halloween, so I'm excited to see it during my DCP. You will absolutely love it.
Yes.
I know last year that my program kind of ended right when Halloween was starting. It was like the last couple weeks that I was there, and then it started. And it's so great. And we got to do the Halloween party, and it's so fun. And Reb is here. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Is voting for the villains. So villains pretty easily is moving on. And in our final round for what should be the next land at Walt Disney World, we have Tangled versus Disney villains.
This is interesting.
Interesting. I think, well, in my head, I think what people are going to vote because it's just easily wiped the whole other side. But I could be wrong. I think that
Tangled will give it a fight.
I think of all of the movies that doesn't
look
have,
at the chat right now.
But like, I think that it's because of all of the movies that doesn't have representation enough. I think Tangled, and I think it's helped that Tangled has some, but it's bathrooms, and people go, it has bathrooms. It needs more than bathrooms.
Yeah.
Which way do you want to go?
I'm gonna vote for the villains because I think it's the obvious like land like.
Yeah, as a whole land, it needs to happen.
I think it'd be so cool.
I agree.
So I'm just gonna vote for it.
I'm voting Disney villains as well. I would like. I kind of envision like on this side, which I'm surprised. I kind of thought like I could have seen a final where it's like Avengers and villains, and I think that could have been interesting. I think in this crowd and in this bracket, after all of our talking through everything, I think that it would have been easy for the villains. I think that this might be a little bit tougher because I think Tangled is an easy fit, and you just expand and you build a ride and you do like what's it called? Snuggly Duckling.
Yeah. And
you call it a day, and you can meet like Rapunzel there, Flynn there.
Yeah.
And find a way that I can do Maximus like they do with a donkey at Universal where he talks, which like he doesn't talk, obviously. But the villains is just a really good idea. And if I see them announcing something next at, let's say, D23, I wouldn't be shocked at either of these, but I would think that maybe villains is like more likely, which is interesting.
Well, and I feel like it's like if they said we're actually doing the villains people would be like, what?
Yeah, but get it going quick. Anything that's announced. Where are we at? Caden kicking us off with a vote for Tangled. Hannah voting Tangled. So is Kim and Brianna all going Tangled. McKenna votes for villains. Reb loves Tangled, but is going to have to go with the villains. Alex votes villains. Kay votes for Tangled.
Oh, wait, I think I might have just
11 Flynn Rider. That's okay.
I think I just
we'll
did
go back.
Wrong. Can we start again?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Tangled, and 1, 2 plus R2 for villains.
Okay.
Kim says that Tacey's phone has died, but she votes for Tangled as well. So there's another vote for Tangled. T Squiggle, Happy Travel Vlogs vote for villains. So does Tyler. Magical Castle is voting for the Kingdom of Corona, voting for Tangled. Kirsten votes for villains, and Olivia votes for Tangled.
What about Tyler?
I voted for villains.
So you said that?
Which I already said, yeah.
Sure?
Yeah. Okay. We can do a recount.
Might want to do a recount.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for Tangled. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for Tangled. For villains. Very close. Let's see if any votes come through. If some come at the same time, we're gonna have to count them both together, and we'll see. We'll see.
Should we just give like a time?
We'll give a little bit of time because it is our final, but we're tied 8-8. 8 for Tangled, 8 for Villains. Tough one. I'm glad that it's close.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it wasn't just Villains destroys and takes it down.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Tyler wants an attraction that's like the Once Upon a Studio short film where it has a little of everything. If only, right?
Yeah.
If in a perfect world it was like a whole attraction of you're going to see everybody in there.
That'd be cool.
Would be really cool. I think both of these have good potential. I am excited to see what is next for Disney World, and we'll touch on that soon, like after this bracket's all over. But if anybody's out there and you're watching, you haven't voted, someone's in the room who's been watching, and it's like now down to the final here, Tangled versus Villains. We need a vote here to break the tie, because we surely can't do rock, paper, scissors on a final.
No.
That would just be not good research.
No.
So anybody out there with a vote, are you surprised this is our final based on what you saw of all these movies? No.
I feel like
I knew that. Yeah, I knew that Tangled would be a tough one. There you go. Olivia and Kimberly is here. Welcome. 2 votes for Tangled. Kimberly and Olivia's fiance votes for Tangled. He's watching as well. And Alex's fiance says Villains. Okay. So all the fiancés coming in, and Kimberly, and that means Tangled is our winner by 1 vote.
I kind of like that because it's like it stood its ground. It's by itself. Villains is like multiple.
And I will say now, Stacy came in with a vote for Villains, and FaceTime Caitlin Austin, says Hannah, and see what they vote. I'm sure that Austin would vote Villains and Caitlin would vote Tangled.
Yeah, actually, probably.
It'd be split. Rumi says Villains. So again, see, all these votes came in.
That's okay. We had to go with
the first one. And Tangled was our winner. See, look, now all the votes come for Villains. But nonetheless, let's just say that both these were so close.
Yeah, it was a close call.
It was very close between these two, Villains and Tangled. They should just do both. Before we let you all go, thanks for bearing with us for 2.5 hours. We appreciate you all. It was a tough one, a long one. But just a few little plug things quickly with what's been going on with us before we let you all go. Yesterday, we posted this video, A Weekend in Our Life, of Heidi going to see Zach Bryan. We did some thrifting stuff, played some games with Haley and Tommy, filmed our podcast, and did a bunch of stuff. And we wanted to take you along on a weekend because sometimes we'll do those here and there. And this was a fun weekend with some stuff going on. So I definitely check that out if you haven't already. I also posted this video on Monday.
Not sure.
Or the Friday before. One of the two. And I posted all about merchandise on the Disney College program and shared all of my locations, all of my training, what I loved about it, like some favorite memories, answered lots of questions that all of you had over on Instagram. And this is kind of like the lead up into me doing my next program. Hopefully, like within the next couple of weeks, I will know my location.
Yeah.
Which is wild. So stay tuned for that. I'm also going to this week post a poll of where you think I'm going to be working. I did that last year, and I'll say what merchandise location do you think? And I'm going to stick them all there. If you have any ideas here, you can leave them here as well. But any ideas of merchandise locations where you think, I'm going to post that over on Instagram at sunnytimestwo, and we'll see what people have to say. But hopefully the first week of April, I'm going to find out, just like last year. So that happened on our channel. We also, of course, the Park Squad Pod, our podcast with Haley and Tommy. A new episode will be coming on Monday, and we are going to do our first movie club review, and we're going to review and chat about Lilo and Stitch, which is so fun. We just watched it yesterday for the first time in a while, and we have some great thoughts on it, some fun stuff to say. So if you haven't watched it and you want to chat about it on Monday, be sure to go ahead there, like on Disney Plus, and watch it, and we can chat all things Lilo and Stitch, and use code Sunny10, but it's not Sunny10. I actually saved the wrong graphic. And we're going to be posting a picture in our new Phantasmic shirts to announce this, but we'll announce it here, is that the lovely ladies at Magical Castle have increased our code until I go to Florida for my CEP to Sunny15.
Yep.
which is amazing. Thank you, ladies, if you're still watching. Sunny 15. So save you a little bit more on all the awesome stuff over there until I leave for my Disney program in Florida. We're going to share that over on Instagram. We're so excited about it. Sunny 15. We really love Magical Castle. They have the best stuff, and we just love hanging out with them and this kind of little thing going on with them. They're like just the best, and we love them and love their stuff. So use code Sunny10 and
Sunny 15.
Oh, sorry, Sunny 15. I'm reading Sunny 10 and I saved the wrong thing. Sunny 15. And the last thing in terms of our little world is this. And that is that tickets, if you did not know and you're wanting to go to D23, go on sale this week for gold members on Tuesday. And then I think on Thursday for just the average person who's not a D23 member. So definitely check that out. Yeah, like if you're wanting to go, I know we'll be on there Tuesday trying to get our tickets, and stay tuned very soon, probably in April within the next couple of weeks, for a Disneyland trip announcement and breakdown of all the stuff that we're doing. And D23, as you all know, will be a part of it. So that's all that we got for you in terms of our little plugs and promos and stuff. Use code Sunny15. Check out the podcast. Stay tuned this week for new stuff. We're not going to go live next weekend because of Easter, but we will be back in April for new live streams. Lots of stuff planned for that. And then it's going to be the lead up to moving down to Disney. It's crazy. And wow, we love you all so much. Thanks for hanging out with us. And like I said, leave some comments either like on this video after or when it goes live on Instagram in the story of what my work location will be. Any guesses? But love you all. Thank you so much. Have a great Easter if you celebrate Easter and all that stuff. Hanging out with like family and friends, and we'll see you all very, very soon.
And remember, it's always sunny.